Greetings and hello. Welcome to our suddenly display. That orange headphones that are really silly. You're right, I'm adorable. What great news. I only look bad when I take them off, and there's a very obvious impression in my hair. Anyway, sneaky room. Greetings. Hail and well met.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to the city of Duskfall, friends. Oh, I
hate it here.
No, it's great. Trust me, you're gonna love it.
At least the food is good.
Well, that's up for
Is
debate,
it?
but probably not.
You spend a lot, yes.
That is the ambiance that I'm currently using, if you're so interested. But yes, all the same. This is our wonderful city of Duskfall, the world of Blades in the Dark, the system that we are testing today. Yay, very excited. We're going to slowly zoom in. Oh my god, I love how big this map is. It's so great. Everyone made this. I love you. I forgot their name, but I will ruin it later. Yes, we are beginning. Oh my god, I can zoom in so far. Holy shit. God, this is ridiculous. Okay. It's like playing GTA. You just keep going in and in and in. Yes, we are indeed beginning in Crowsfoot, unsurprising to veterans of the game, with our currently unnamed crew. I'll have the three of you introduce yourselves, starting from left to right with Desmond.
Oh boy. This is Desmond On. He used to be a goody two-shoe lawmaker on the path to excellence, until he got a taste of like the bad side, the corrupted side, with lots of good food, which shaped his destiny into being a low-life thug. To mostly earn him money so he can live the good life, so to speak.
Speaking of that, I love this art you found, by the way.
Thank you.
It is very pretty. Speaking of that, Kim. Oh my god, I'm not looking at your last name. I'm just calling you Kim. Alright. Tell me about yourself.
I'm Kim Possible.
Hey, you.
I came from a not so good area. But I went to school, that really big school. I don't know the name of it.
Just a couple.
And basically to go from rags to riches, that was the intent. But because I'm so frowned upon, I've had to resort to other methods to get a rep.
As you do.
Yes.
And the beautiful, the wonderful ogre. How about you, my friend? I love that art. It's so good.
Hey, I'm from the Deathlands.
Is that it?
Yes.
You don't want to know more.
You really don't.
Don't be nosy, little shit. All right, wonderful. Let's jump us on over to where does one go? There he is. All right. Let me move y'all on over this way. All right. Yeeting on over to Crowsfoot. Once again, a beautiful map, not made by myself. I'm not this good. Or the name is what's on Drive Through RPG, and my god, it is choice. There's so much detail here about it. Okay. Any hoots. Our crew does not currently have a name, which is perfectly fine because maybe we can do some.
Just the three of us.
Yeah, just three so far, but maybe we can do some scores and then determine why we unnamed what we unnamed. All the same, we know what we are.
That reminds me.
We are shadows, thieves.
Something.
Sorry, what?
I was gonna change something.
We are thieves, spies, scoundrels. Something about your character?
Yeah. Am I not supposed to be able to open my sheet?
Your name? Click away. Oh, you're on. There you go.
Ah.
You do what I do when we play D&D, where I'm on like the measure tool. Why can't I open things? Why can't I move tokens? Why is it making a line?
That's exactly what I did. Yes.
You doofus.
You complete doofus.
I just have my sheet popped open in my on my second screen.
That seems like a good idea.
How do I update my items?
What are you trying to do exactly?
Well, I was thinking about her character the other day, and I'm like,
Mhm.
pistols don't fit her.
Your loadout. You don't want the. You have a pistol and a second pistol. You just hit the little trash can button and it should go away. And then because of your guys' upgrade, you can carry 5 things and be considered light.
Because if she's gonna be sneaky, knives are more appropriate.
This does make sense. So you are a slide. Ogre is a whisper. A beautiful one at that. It does make sense. Thick spider. But a spider all the same.
Spoiler.
He's a spider. Oh, man. This bad around. Alright then. As I mentioned before, there's one unique thing I forgot to tell you guys about Blades in the Dark. So 2 things. The first one is the bit we went over before of this game is fast. We don't really do planning. You guys can do minimal planning. When I say minimal, I literally just mean, how are we doing this? Are we stealing? Are we breaking in? And then you stop there. You don't say how you're going to break in. We then jump to the scene, however you guys want, of course. And then say, going through the window, through the front door, we're going to pretend to be chefs, cooks, we're going to pretend to be trash man, whatever. And then we jump to and go straight to it. And then if you guys need to flashback, you can do so. That is built into the system. But the other fun thing is, like I mentioned, I won't be messing too much with position. Normally, the standard is, when it asks you guys to roll, you guys hit a little pop-up where it says standard, great, risky. What is that? We're going to mostly ignore it unless something weird happens. But you're basically always standard effect, which is just basic, and risky position, because unless you're in an absolutely wonderful position, the enemy doesn't know you're there, you knock the roll out of the park, then I'd say switch it to control. But that will be what happens when you guys are asked to do something. So, for example, if you click on hunt, it will pop up that says position, effect, and modifier. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. The other really cool thing about Blades in the Dark is I will not tell you what to roll. You tell me what you're trying to do, and then tell me what you'd like to roll. And unless it's completely unacceptable and doesn't make any sense, I will say yes 99% of the time. That is what this game is. What you choose to roll, though, will change the effect of what you're trying to do. So you guys always choose what action you'd like to use whenever you're doing. So obviously, if you try to use Wreck to sneak in, I'll just straight up say no, because it makes no sense. But if you try to use something else to sneak in, and you can logically say, yeah, this would work, it might have a less effect, but you are more than welcome to do so. Other than that, that was a really cool bit that I read the other day. There's about 1 billion rules to this game, but we're going to ignore the weirder ones and just have fun stealing shit. That's what we want to do. That's what we're here for. Alrighty. Did you fix your bit, Kim? Are you knifed up?
Yeah, I'm knifed up.
Hell yeah. Alrighty. So, we are heading over to Crowsfoot. This is the information we know. I'll let you guys start where you want to start and go where you wish to go. And we'll hip-hop from there. So, the starting situation is your crew is caught up in a perilous and possibly profitable situation in the Crowsfoot district. Rorik, the ward boss who once ran the criminal operation in Crowsfoot, has been killed. People say that it was his second in command, Lisa, who did it. She now controls Rorik's impressive gang of cutthroats who call themselves the Crows. When he died, the peace he had brokered between 2 enemy gangs fell apart. The Lampblacks and the Red Sashes once again exploded into open war throughout the streets. Your crew is poised to profit from all this. Excuse me. If not, be swept up in chaos and destroyed. Drama. Who will you side with? Do you have loyalties or friendships in the mix, or are you detached outsiders, coldly exploiting the situation? Let's find out. So you guys have people from your past that you do and don't like. There are some NPCs, obviously, that are established, but others are not. So you all get to decide who you wish to talk with, where you guys want to go. We'll just cut straight there. If you want to say, yes, my friend from the past was a blah 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 in this crew, you can do that. Maybe he's a chef, or maybe he runs one of their operations, some card game business. But the 3 clans, I'll have them written out in factions. I didn't have pros. My bad. we go. So, we have the Crows, whose leader was just murdered, replaced by someone else. We have the Red Sashes and the Lamp Blacks. Those two latter are murdering each other in the street because, well, they're a bit sassy.
Why
you-
not?
I mean, why the hell not, right?
It's a good time.
Yeah, there's people there. They have blood in them. I want the blood to be out of them.
Perfect.
That's a
Perfect.
good enough reason.
It seems it's. I mean, that's a logical conclusion to end up at.
What
so,
other reason
yes.
would you be doing it for?
I mean, maybe to like practice your thrust.
I guess.
Yeah. You never know. Yes, but all right. All the same, like I said, you guys get to choose who you'd like to side with, where you want to go, etc., etc. So if you just want to pick one of the clans, you can essentially just head there and then discuss what we want to do with that.
I would first want to find out a bit more about both clans, honestly.
Sure. Are we going for more of a sneaky find out, or are we just going to essentially walk up and discuss things?
I mean, I could probably pull my friend card in that regard.
Sure.
My
there
estranged,
are...
whatever he is.
Yeah. So there's obviously common information we have. Which one do you guys wish to speak with first?
I don't mind.
Yeah, I don't care either.
Someone's got to pick. I can just pick for you, but
Roll a die.
there's literally a mechanic for that. All right, die roll.
Whichever is closest.
The Crows.
The Crows it is.
All right. That's what we know about the Crows. They're an old gang with new leadership, known for running illegal games of chance and extortion rackets, as one does. Alrighty. There we go. Alright, let me shrink that bad boy. Oops. Alright, so we are starting with the Crows. Alright, as we do. Alright, so we still haven't decided where we're setting down, right? So that this isn't really your guys' territory, we're just kind of visiting for now, basically?
Yeah.
Alright,
We exist here.
we exist, perfect.
I mean,
perfect.
If I had a choice, I'd probably go to the docks because it seems fun, but
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, realistically, where do you guys want to settle? I'll put it this way. Mechanically, when you guys choose to expand, you have to expand into another clan. So, for example, if we were here, and we have the Crows, Lamp Blacks, and the Red Sashes, when you guys choose to expand, you would have to take from somebody. So, if you guys wanted to, you could, open up a gambling hall, but it would have to be in the Lamp Blacks area, meaning you're taking something from them, which will piss them off, but it'll make the Red Sashes happy. So that's effectively how the game works. You cannot expand without having bumped into somebody else. So we can effectively completely blip. I don't think you can completely destroy a clan, but you can hurt the shit out of them to the point where you are.
Seems like we should settle down after we've got some leverage over someone.
Sounds good to me. And realistically, you can sell on anywhere. The docks themselves have different clans there, of course. But if you guys don't expand, just plop yourselves down. You can pay like 1 or 2 coin. Just say, hey, we're just here to hang. And everyone's like, yeah, sure, whatever. As long as you pay your dues, they'll effectively leave you alone. So that's essentially how that throws down. But we're heading over to the Crows. Seeing as you guys are a rather small organization, most groups are more than willing to speak with you. As you guys head up to the Crow's Nest, this is a wonderful location. It's an ancient tower from before the Cataclysm that has been a ritual sanctum, an astronomer's laboratory, and a bluecoat watch post. Before its current role as the headquarters as the district's chief gang, the Crows. So we're hanging with the big boys now. Alright, and as we head up, we'll cut to a scene where you are discussing something with Bell, their second in command. Say we're in an office with this character, Bell. Which one of you is leading the conversation? What are we saying? What are we doing?
Desmond is definitely the leader. Look at that suit.
It's a very nice suit.
it was custom tailored for my massive frame.
I would say, with your absolute thickness, that makes sense.
Yeah. It has been extended like 3 times at this point.
They're expansions.
It's weird. They keep
You get
getting
more content.
smaller in the wash.
Definitely. Whoever's been watching your replays is doing a horrible job.
Yes,
Definitely not you watching your
definitely
replays.
their fault.
Maybe it's Ogre.
Yes.
Just got
He
it.
uses some weird ass detergents as well.
But yes, as you guys enter, you can see that they are indeed quite busy. You see that another group recently left the location, but all the same, they are indeed here to meet with you now. Bell is their name. Desmond's leading the conversation.
Oh god, how do we start it? Why are we here?
Why are you here? I mean, you guys are here to. You said you wanted to find out information.
Yeah, but specifically, why are we messing with those 2 clans? What is our reasoning behind that? Like, we want power, I guess, but...
Yeah, effectively. So, the Crows originally had both of these clans making nice. Now, as I mentioned, they're about to explode back into an all-out war. Maybe they don't trust Lisa. Yeah, well, Lisa. I don't know Lisa.
is it 2 S's?
They don't trust. Yeah, it's Lyssa.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't trust Lissa, or maybe they think the Crows are falling apart because their leader was just murdered. So their trust is down the drain. You guys see this as an opportunity to profit from either side, whether you're going to help one in the destruction of the other, or you're going to, as it mentioned, just be a detached observer, watching from the side and maybe just yoinking something from somebody. One thing I'll also say mechanically is if you do a job with not necessarily 0 heat, but if you do a job completely silent and no one knows you did it, as in you don't side with anybody, you attack someone, but you don't necessarily leave a trace or a note or anything, then you guys gain 0 reputation, which logically makes sense because no one knows you did it. So you want to leave a little, not necessarily like, a wake of dead bodies, but if you side with someone, if you leave a note, Desmond was here, Kim was here, whatever, maybe you scratch your name into a wall or something, your crew's name, then people will know you did it. There's nothing wrong with having no rep, of course. You guys can stay a smaller clan. It does make things a little bit more difficult, but that is a mechanic in this game. So you guys stand to benefit. When 2 crews are at each other's throats, they will take any help. So depending on how you guys see things, you can help, or you can hinder. You can screw with the Crows while they're maybe trying to get these 2 children to stop fighting. You guys can do whatever you want. Totally up to you. We'll say you scheduled a meeting with their second-in-command, Bell.
I think for now our best bet is gonna be to get on their good side.
For now, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
because we can use that later.
Could I have spent like some time finding out if either of those 2 clans, the Red Sashes or the other one, if they have anything of worth?
Everyone has something of worth.
So yeah, something specifically like treasure hunter, like artistic, that we would be interested in as a group.
Yeah, so to put it vaguely, all these clans are quite large. The exact size, so they're a tier 2 clan, meaning the exact size of that. Let's see. There's a specific number. I think it's like 20 people or so, 20, 30. So they're not huge, but they're indeed big enough. It caps at 5, I think, 5 or 6. But that's literally like the police force. So that number.
That's in military.
Yeah, it's basically a military. There you go. Yeah. Okay, never mind. A tier 2 gang is about 12 people. Okay, so smaller than it sounds, but all the same.
Yeah. Okay.
They're in good position. To put it rather bluntly, of course, the higher tier you guys decide to poke, the more stuff they're going to have, the better the payout's going to be, etc., etc. Every crew will have something you guys want, whether you can trade it for something or whether they directly have that thing. A lot of the times, when you speak with certain crews, they will literally just pay you to screw with somebody else. So they'll just say, we want you to steal this thing that's worth 10 coin. We'll give you 3 or 4, whatever it may be. So a lot of the times it just means flat out money. If you want specific items and you want to hawk them on the black market or what have you, that's also an option.
I guess we would be interested in, well, taking apart either of the two clans then.
Okay.
To like give an edge to the other one so they shut up,
Yeah, sure.
basically.
Yeah, and the crows very
We'll
much want to
offer
help with
our
that.
service to the crows.
Yeah, they very
in
much
that
want to help with
regard.
that. Okay.
I guess we'll ask them if they have a preference or.
Let's see. You're essentially asking not necessarily which one to take down, but maybe which one to slow down.
I mean, if they have a preference of either clans, like if one of them is like too much to handle at times or something.
Fair. Essentially, no. They're both, they both have their issues. They both, essentially willingly jumped into this, like, together. It's more so they're both, what is it? Somewhat unstable. And they're both led by certain folk that are maybe, a little too big in the head. As a quick description, the Lampblacks are a former lamplighter guild turned to crime when their services were replaced by electric lights.
Electric lights?
Indeed.
Oh,
And then the Red Sashes are originally a school of ancient Aruvian sword arts, since expanded into criminal endeavors. So that is their general description that everybody knows about.
Okay. Well,
for the most
makes
part,
the
both-
choice easy for us, I guess.
Yeah, so for the most part, both factions are just butting heads, and the crows want them to stop. They'll effectively do or pay whatever they need to get that to happen. So that's entirely dependent on how you guys want to. Of course, they have various jobs if you guys are interested in that, or if you're interested in specifically just information regarding that.
What kind of jobs are we talking? Like steal from one of the clans or what?
Indeed. They primarily have two that they are currently looking at. You guys are... So, in terms of your guys' crew, how do you offer your services? Do you guys say that you're like, we prefer sneaky, or you just say, hey, we want to make money? How do you guys present yourselves?
I would say like,
You guys are just savvy.
if you want something, we will get it for you, period.
Okay.
Regardless of how and when.
Okay, perfect. Interesting. Alrighty. So, let's see. We'll go ahead and cut to Bell. They got their feet kicked up on the table in front of them. They're smoking while looking about. They glance out the window and see various folk working and moving product, discussing what they can. Basically, what we can do to stop this. Because obviously, all-out war means less product for us, and the dead just mean more attention from the wrong group, which we do not want. Preferably want to keep the bluecoats out of here. I forgot the faction that the Ghost Collection faction, but we don't want them here either. They're no bueno. So they do indeed have something you can do that would slow them down. Maybe they have something else to focus on. Maybe an outside crew, not necessarily you guys. Wink, something just happened. They'll focus more on their own turf rather than trying to extend out to others. So as she's sort of flipping through some papers, maybe looking through some of their intel, she looks to Kim and Desmond. The look that Ogre is just giving everything makes everyone's slightly uncomfortable, so she turns her attention
Good.
turns her attention over to Desmond and says, well, I do believe we probably have a plan for you. What, your group said you're better in the dark, sneaking about and such?
yeah.
We like to stay clear of the blue.
Perfect. Well, I do have something you could potentially do that would, let's say, slow them down. I'll put it blunt. This is perfectly down your avenue. We don't need any bloodshed. We just need something stolen. Something from their treasury. It'll pay, let's see, let's see some other papers, maybe checking their own treasury and such. About 4 coin. Would that work for you?
I'll give a glance to like Kim and Ogre.
Out of curiosity, what is the value of 4 coin?
That's a good amount for your guys' tier.
Okay,
The
so
exact
say
value is in one of the PDFs.
say if I like going to like plays and stuff, how much would a ticket for that cost?
So I'd have to double check how downtime works with your vices, but I'm pretty sure it costs you technically nothing. So a vice is just something that you can do. I think you have 2 downtime actions, the vice being one of them. You always have 2. I believe one of Desmond's abilities can give one of you a third, and I think if you either pay 1 stress or pay 1 coin, you can get another one. So realistically, unless you want to roleplay you're going somewhere extra bougie, your vice is quote-unquote free, if you want to do it that way.
I didn't pick that ability, by the way.
You didn't, okay. That's perfectly fine.
Does that include visiting my my boo?
So any vice, whether it be faith, gambling, luxury, obligation, pleasure, stupor, or weird, any of those that you choose is a free downtime activity.
Okay.
And then you roll to see how well you succeed on it, depending on certain stats and such.
I'll nod at Desmond. 4 seems good.
So if you want to not necessarily overindulge, but if you want some extra bits, then yes. In terms of how much money that is, I believe I mentioned it before. Let's see, do you actually care how much? Let's say 4 coin would be like a small-ish job or a strong box. A strong box being not the size of a massive safe, but a very hardy safe.
Sorry, what's a hardy safe?
4 coin is equivalent to a small job or a strong box. The smallest amount would be about 2 coin, which is a minor job, several full purses of silver.
Then yeah, 4
So
seems
4
good.
4 is very reasonable.
That seems like adequate pay for a small job like this, yes.
She nods and says, "Wonderful." Craning her neck, she quickly puts out the cigar, flattens some of the papers, and looks at the 3 of you. I'll be frank, I'm not entirely familiar with the 3 of you. Are you new in town?
New together.
I've been around. Usually I'm working for other clans, or other groups, so to speak. Freelance agents, let's say.
Turns to the old man.
Hehehe.
I assume he's trustable.
Oh yeah, Ogre's great.
Well,
I'll pat him on the back.
he's loyal at least.
Good, good. Well, you may accomplish this in any way you wish, of course. I'm not going to stop you, as long as you bring the item back to us.
Sounds
The outcome, of course, doesn't matter. Preferably don't raise too much of a stink, and of course don't tell them that we sent you. And things should be just fine.
Of course.
good. Alright.
They nod. And, leaning forward, they kind of flip through 2 papers that they're intentionally trying not to show you guys. And then looking to the 3 of you, she squints a bit through the smoke and says, "Is there one particular gang you're not entirely fond of, or do you not care?"
I'm not acquainted with either gang, honestly.
She nods. Looks over again. For relations and such, in case, word gets out.
I agree with that. I'm not affiliated with any of them right now.
Alright. Obo, you don't really strike me as the person to be affiliated with either, am I correct?
I just want money.
Alright then, perfect. Strange, but I do like this man. Alright, we'll say...
Great equalizer.
Indeed. We'll say the lamp blacks should be perfect for your crew. Should be fine, yes?
Works for us.
Just tell us where to be.
Excellent. Well, she folds one of the sheets, unfolds the other, and sort of leans towards you. And what is revealed is essentially a vague but somewhat detailed map of one of the Lampblack's hideouts. The item in question is located here. It's something that they're attempting to hide in one of their war treasuries. There are various rumors as to the item, but we'll just say you'll know what it is when you see it, yes?
Alright.
My interest is piqued.
She smiles at that. Says, well, have you wished to do this? It's entirely up to you, but she slides the paper to you guys. You may take this and have fun.
I'll take the papers. Is there any
Alright.
specific place you would like us to bring this item?
You can bring it directly
Or
back
is
to me.
right here?
Preferably keep it somewhat concealed, yes?
Of course.
She nods. Alrighty. And now the three of you are tasked with doing this thing, as one does. Alright. What is going to be our... I mean, I think we already know the answer to this. How are we attempting to engage?
Oh, we know where it is, right?
Yes,
We
you
just
do.
need to steal something, so I
Correct.
guess,
So the game gives about 6. So it's either assault, deception, stealth, occult, social, or transport. So we have the location.
right.
We just need to get there and do the thing.
Exactly. Can we do like can we like set them apart so they're fighting the red sash and the is it the stat mill or the other one? I can't remember.
I have them pulled up in the faction tab if you want to kind of throw it off to the side. It's the Lampblacks and the Red Sashers.
Yeah.
So those are the two we're
So
currently
the
focusing
lamp
on.
blacks.
Yeah.
Can we
So-
like get them to fight somewhere so that there's less people in the safe house that we're robbing?
That is definitely something we can technically do. Realistically, of course, there's a lot going on with this world. There's a lot going on with the game, kind of in general. For the most part, what we do, the first thing we do, is pick up a mission, and then you want to jump in and essentially say, where are we going? How are we doing this? You guys have already chosen your loadout. If you want to look through it real quick and kind of redo things, but you guys have already tooled it for stealth, I believe, so we're fine there. And then the first thing we do is decide what we're doing. So you guys are trying to go in stealth, right? Remember, not trying to like be seen.
Yeah.
All right. So the intent is stealth. So the question is, which point of infiltration are we going for? How are we going to get in?
The front door.
I like the back door.
I'm not sure if the
Oh.
front door is stealth.
The back door works for me too.
Okay.
Didn't we actually have like underground maps and passkeys? Yeah.
I
do.
do believe you do. Let's see.
Is there like an underground access area or something? Like a sewer?
Let's see.
I don't know.
So essentially how that would work is basically this. So whenever we start a score, we do something called the engagement roll, which basically means you roll 1 dice. For every major advantage you have, aka your guys' underground tunnels, you may add 1 dice. For every major disadvantage, you lose a dice. So currently, I'll go ahead and read off what they consider disadvantages. The target's a higher tier, so unfortunately they indeed are, so that's going to be automatically -1 dice, but you can't go, I believe you can't go below 1 for the engagement roll. So baseline, we're rolling quote-unquote -1 die, so 0. So for everything you guys do, for district modifiers, for any cohorts of friends, which we don't currently have, if you guys can find some form of vulnerability or weakness, or if what you're doing is bold, daring, things of that nature, we get to add dice. So this is basically something that we discuss. So currently, we're going to start at 0 dice because of the 1 negative. And I will say the only negative to this is that it's not necessarily complicated. Where are we again? We're Crowsfoot? Let's see. Crowsfoot is... If you take the Devil's Bargain, you get +1 if you commit a violent action. We're trying to stay away from that, so we'll just keep that in mind. This place is quite haunted, as there's a shit ton of murder here. So basically, this is something we discuss. The engagement roll is basically the position of... it sort of leaves up to fate slightly, because we can't control everything, obviously. So essentially what the engagement roll is we roll X number of dice, and depending on how high we roll, of course we want to roll higher, it depends your position. So if you roll a 1, 2, or 3, that means when you first start, you're in a desperate position. A 4 to 5 is a risky position, which is basically where everything always is. If you roll a 6, that's a controlled position. A critical means you guys are going to get in with no issues. So essentially we're going for the back door, and then you guys would basically say things that would make this go up or go down. So the first thing you mentioned is you guys have underground tunnels, which would be +1. So that is indeed one of your bonuses. Anything else that would aid us in this initial engagement?
I mean, I have blueprints apparently.
As one of your loadout items?
Can I link it somehow?
Is it documents? That one? Or a different one?
No, it's literally called blueprints.
Oh, it is.
It's one of my loadout items.
A folio of useful architectural drawings and city plans. Feel free to specify which plans you... Ooh, okay. Yes, I would say why not. So that goes to 2.
Can I find a ghost that maybe tried invading before and failed?
I can summon a ghost.
That is definitely something we can do.
My ability.
Yeah. So let me rewind slightly. So obviously, depending on how we want to play this game, a lot of this can roll out differently. So of course, the intended way to do this is to, once again, up to you guys, entirely up to you guys. But when we do things like this, it is possible, but we can gain stress prior. So the general idea, so that we don't spend like 3 hours planning and then maybe it not working, is it also gains stress. You're also going to get debuffs and such on the way there. So you're more welcome to like look for a ghost, or maybe try to like maybe fight or talk to people and screw things along the way. But if you do that, there's a chance of you going into this mission debuffed because you're doing it during the same day. So similar to...
We don't have to do it the same day, do we?
You do, yes. So everything basically has to be realistic on the same day. So not always, but theoretically, yes.
That
So for
doesn't make
example...
sense if we want to go collect info first.
Well, that's different. So
I actually have that as a ability, yeah.
Yeah, so the other suggestion, the one of like try to get people distracted, you have to do that same day, obviously. But we can say, so I'll add a dice saying they already are distracted, because this general position for you guys, they're already fighting. So because of that, we're gonna roll 3 dice because they're already distracted. They're fighting each other right now, so their heads aren't exactly on right. If you wish to, do you have a certain skill, Kim, that you're looking for?
Ghost voice.
Ghost voice. You know the secret method to interact with ghosts or demons is that they're normal humans, regardless of how wild or feral it appears, and you gain potency when communicating with the supernatural, okay? So you need to find a ghost to begin with. That is very good. And then compel. You can attune to the ghost field to force a nearby ghost to appear. Okay, well, there's that problem solved.
Synergy!
There you go. And obey a command that you give it. You are not supernaturally terrified by a ghost you summon or compel, although your allies might be. Okay. Well, you are more than welcome to do that.
Can I find out who is guarding, or is like an overseer of the area? Who specifically is guarding it, and gather info about him or something?
Yes. What is your intention for that?
To get like a feel of how capable he is. Is he bribable? Can I distract him with something specific? Basically.
Okay.
As part of my ability.
Yeah.
Can I link it somehow?
I'm not sure. The Weaving Web one, you gain +1 console
Yes.
when you gather information on a target for a score. You get +1 die to be engaged for the operation. Oh, shit, that's literally what we're trying to do right now. Perfect, okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, so if you guys have a skill that plays into this very second, definitely let me know so I don't accidentally skip over it. There's a million skills in this game. I haven't read all of them, but I've looked at a decent portion of them.
Wait, so are all 3 of our skills based for information gathering?
I mean, you guys made your characters for that, so yeah, that makes sense. I will also say... So I'm trying to think exactly how this plays out. This game is indeed very different. I'm trying to make sure that we stick to how it's supposed to function, just to make sure that we can test that aspect without, jackknifing off in too weird of a direction, and maybe not borking up something, but maybe.
It does say like gather information on a target, but is a target, does it have to be a person, or can it be like a vault basically, or a painting, whatever the hell it is we're stealing?
I would say, well, it's consort. Does it explain what okay, hold on. Consort has a very specific description. Let's see. Consort is you're socializing with a friend or contact. You might gain access to resources, information, people, or places. You might make a good impression or win someone over with your charm and style, both which you have in spades. You might make new friends or connect with your heritage or background. You can try to direct your friends with social pressure, but command is probably better for that. So yeah, I would say since you're using consort specifically, that would be talking to a person. So you're more than welcome to maybe you find this guy off the clock. Maybe you, try like scoping out the place, and then you see that this person's in charge, and you kind of go after them that way. That makes any sense?
Yeah.
Something along those lines. You're basically
Like
trying to see...
find out where he frequents and strike up like a conversation with him or something.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we'll say while you guys are preparing for this, you indeed do that. And okay, I need to hold on 1 second.
I'm not sure if I do need to roll for that.
Nope, I'm writing names down so I don't get the wrong name. Okay. So we'll say Desmond, you go off to do that. Are you primarily stalking this person, or are you trying to like pull him off the side and talk to him?
I mean, Desmond is a sweet talker. You could probably like strike up just a random conversation at the bar or something.
Okay, yeah, sure. We'll say that this person is indeed at a bar, surrounded by a few of his thugs, but nothing really too major. He doesn't look too unapproachable, if you will. They are well within Lampblack territory, and primarily because you guys are unaffiliated, they don't seem to pay any mind. So you see this chap just sort of drinking it up with, we'll say, 3 of his friends. What do you do?
Like, are they talking about anything? Like, what's the atmosphere at the table?
The general atmosphere is pretty jovial. The drunker they get, the more confident they become. Sort of like, oh, can you believe those red sash bastards? Like, that kind of conversation there. Like, oh, they think they can step to us, so they don't know what we got. And they're mostly a lot of that.
I'll just like nonchalantly walk. Are you trash talking the red sashes? Are you?
You see this individual turn to you and goes, "You bet your ass I am. Hey, what's your name, friend? Not seen you around here."
The name's Desmond.
Yeah. You
I've had my fair share of, well, let's say, troubles with the red sash.
Oh, good. Sit down. Any enemy of them's a friend of mine. And he kind of waves over someone to bring you a drink.
No, let me pay for this one.
Oh, right, he's a man of wealth. I can appreciate that. The name's Hannah.
Well, no. If only that was the case, I wouldn't be here, would I now?
Oh, that's true. Oops, didn't do that. I think I had it at 3. Yeah. Apparently, he didn't enter. Just kind of rolls for you. Good to know. All right. And he indeed laughs at that. And not really paying you no mind. But one of them seems less drunk, more like he's watching after Henner. And the other 2 are just drinking away and having a good time, while they're checking you out, telling various stories and such. So you can tell that they're relatively pliable, except for the one gentleman that's, once again, not really, mad dogging you or anything, but he's keeping a lookout, more so on their surroundings.
I'll basically share some stories with him about, well, my job, not my actual job, but like, yeah, I'm a purveyor of rare goods, so to speak.
He nods and says, "Ooh, rare goods, rare goods. Well, you know, we like to fashion ourselves with I wouldn't say connoisseurs of rare goods, but we've he leans in. We've recently gotten our hands on something quite nice that you know can't talk about. I'll keep it a bit hush hush, but all the same, it ain't going nowhere."
Oh, don't say that. That just makes me even more interested now, friend.
Well, maybe I can tell you a thing or two about it. And then one of them kind of elbows him and he goes, yeah. He's trustable. It's Desmond, right, yeah.
No,
And,
no, it's fine. If you don't want to tell me, it's fine. I have my own business to contend to.
No, I mean, well, what are you so busy with, friend?
You know what? How about a trade?
Raise
I'll
that
tell you
rest,
something about. I'll tell you about something special that I know that I found out. And you tell me something about yours.
After you say that, the gentleman that's been watching the room sort of turns his eyes to you and says, "How about we flip that? How about you tell us, we tell you?"
Alright. I'll get out a small notepad from my massive jacket.
Okay.
And I'll flip through it nonchalantly. And I'm sure I have like written down some treasure that was supposed to be lost that may have been found by a clan.
Okay.
And I'll note some things about how it's worth a lot, and they are a very small clan. You could easily run into them. That's what I'm planning.
Okay. Go ahead and throw them bones.
And what specifically?
I would say you're specifically trying to consort with them.
Right.
So that would give you 3. So it should be consort +1. Because your special ability.
Position is risky, or?
I say, real quick before you roll. Alright. So one deal with Blaze in the Dark is once you roll, that's it. Nothing can be changed. Nothing. So if you want to add more to your roll, you can do things. Once again, I won't overcomplicate it, but the roll cheat sheet does kind of have, you know, various bits. So obviously, we're not doing any group actions. We're not flashbacking right now. We're not trying different approaches. You can push yourself to add die. You can take a devil's bargain, which would be weird right now. We won't have devil's bargains for this session specifically. We can, but they're kind of complicated. You can't gain assistance.
I do have some things, I think.
Yeah, so you'll take the +1 die. So you have 3. 3 die is good, and I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just letting you guys know that once you've rolled, that is it. There's nothing you can do after the dice hit the table. So,
Like, could I, for instance, have documents as a loadout item? Could I have like a document for the specific item that I found laying around with me to like show its authenticity or something?
yes. So in general, anything you have on you, anything that's part of your character is part of your consort roll. The only way to actually get the roll to go up mechanically is to either use one of the skills or one of your actual abilities. So you're basically hardlocked at 2 +1 when you consort to do something like this, and then 4 where you're pushing yourself, which is I think you gain 1 stress to gain 1 die. I think it's something like, or it's 2 stress. I think.
Okay, I'll just keep it at 3 then.
Yeah, so you can keep it 3 to just roll 3. And then yeah, for now we'll keep your position standard effect, and then risky just because you don't really know these people too well, but they like the cut of your jib. Hey, all right, perfect. All right, so straight up, you roll the 6, so you just do it. As mentioned before, wow, good thing you had that 3rd die. As mentioned before, in this game, only the highest die matters. So you can roll 50 dice, and if they're all 1 to 3, you failed. There's nothing you can do about it. If you roll 1 dice into 6, you did it. Good job. That's all it cares about. I'll leave this off with that. All right, so you show them this piece of paper, and they kind of, all right, looking at each other, and you can tell that they believe you. So before I forget, we'll add 1 die to the engagement roll on this. So we're at 4 now. And
I'll just keep on talking about how I'm planning on, well, taking that for myself, or maybe if they're interested, they can take it for me, and I'll pay them handsomely.
Okay. They very much believe you. You talk your way in and out of the situation with ease, to the point where you can tell that this lad doesn't really mind too much spilling some of the beans. And he goes, "Well, it's something we came across not too long ago. Those red sashes here, well, they're quite proud of the blades and such. So, one of my boys was able to sneak into their little school and, they stole one of the blades. Gold, crested with various gems and such.
You managed to steal one of the Red Sash's blades.
You know,
That's quite something, yes.
yeah, some sort of a ceremonial item. Must mean a lot to them because they were rot pissed when we did it. Not that
I
they
can
know we did it.
understand that.
We were pretty good keeping it in the dark, right, boys? And then like two of them were like, yeah, and the third guy's like rolling his eyes.
I'll give him like a hearty chuckle. That sounds like great fun.
Oh,
And
you
honestly,
bet.
any hit against the red sash puts a smile on my face.
They smile very widely at that. You get two of them kind of slapping you in the back, Desmond. Your very thick frame. They kind of just thump. Oh, you're a pretty big boy, aren't you?
You could say I like my indulgences.
Who doesn't? Another round! And they come by, and you know, despite your protest, there's an extra drink for you anyway.
I mean, I'm not gonna leave at this point. I'm gonna stay with them a bit to not rouse suspicion, so to speak. So.
Sure. So we'll say you're kind of hanging out with them in one of these one of the bars near the way, and we'll go ahead and cut over to Kim and Ogre. So Desmond, you were successful. Congratulations! You now have 4 dice on our engagement roll. Let me say one other quick thing. So because of what I said, the whole once the dice hit, that's it. To prevent us role-playing, you know, building up the engagement roll, because all the engagement roll is literally your opening position. That's all it is. So if you fail the opening position, you guys can very quickly get back to a solid position by just making some solid rolls after that. So let's say someone sees you. Yeah, so that'll be a good example. You guys bust in, and you have a shitty position. That effectively means once you kick the door in, a dude's just gonna see you immediately. It's like shit, and all that really is fate. You know what I mean? So bad result. You're in a desperate position when you start desperate position. 4 to 5 is mixed, so it's risky. Maybe there are guards nearby. You're unable to stop them from perusing about because it is their base and all. That's perfectly acceptable. You guys can sneak about. A control position. This means there's probably no one nearby, and in the beginning you guys are safe. So to prevent the engagement roll in the beginning of a score taking like an hour or 30 minutes, however long it would take, we can roleplay these. The whole point, as long as you guys are having fun, y'all are having fun. So I'm totally cool roleplaying anything and doing anything. But to prevent the feeling of, holy shit, we planned for 2 hours and still rolled a 3. To prevent that shitty feeling, they do recommend you go a little faster and or kind of just skip straight to it and just roll, and then just whatever stats you have, just go with it in order to get into it. So a good example there, Desmond, is if you were in a bad position, they didn't trust you, then you might have had to push yourself, which means you could have just said, I want to go talk with them and then get a +1 to this. You can just say that and boom, you got it. Or you can roleplay it out to have more fun. Nothing wrong with that. I'm totally cool with roleplaying shit. You guys know I love doing it. But there's the potential risk of stress. There's a potential risk of being caught, or maybe flubbing the roll and getting smacked, which is no fun. And that means you would start your score with damage or with stress, and that's no way. But of course, you obviously stand to gain information or other things. So we will cut to Ogre and Kim. And as I mentioned, this place is rife with ghosts. So they are not attempting, they're hiding, but you can always feel their presence walking down the cobbled streets of Crowsfoot. So I will leave it to you, Ogre and Kim. What do y'all do?
Well, Ogre, do you feel any good ones?
I'm always feeling some good ones.
I need one familiar with the base. Just don't forget.
All right, I'll try.
All right. As a reminder, what particularly were you looking for?
Well, we have to infiltrate their base, right?
One of their strongholds, yes.
Their strongholds.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I want one that has maybe tried to enter before and failed. So I want to see if there's like any traps or.
Oh, so possibly something from an opposing faction then.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I'm down with that. All right, Ogre. So how exactly does your ability work? You can just attune to the ghost field. Okay. So that would mean you have to indeed just do that. So upon feeling, as Ogre does, we'll say you're kind of sniffing about.
I think he said he tastes them, so
Sorry, what?
he definitely tastes them.
Definitely taste them. Sorry, yes, that is incredibly important.
He licks the ghost.
I mean, who doesn't like ghosts?
Very important part of the process.
Truly. If you're not licking ghosts, then like, really, why are you playing those? Devils in the Dark? What? I mean, there's devils. Yeah, I guess throw that out there. You guys aren't really into the supernatural, but there are literal demons and shit in this world, and you do not mess with them. And the ghosts.
I mean, I can talk to a demon, so.
Yes, but
One of my friends is a demon.
traditionally you probably don't want to, unless you're a little cuckoo in the head, which.
Ogre is.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
No,
You just said one of your friends is a demon.
So?
You have
It's
to be a
actually-
little cuckoo.
Ah,
It's
shit.
actually a rat with 3 eyes or something.
what?
It's actually a rat with 3 eyes.
I mean,
Creepy.
could be. Very much could be.
It can talk.
So do I just roll a tune?
Yeah, so
Oh,
you
it
roll
wakes up every morning whispering in his ear.
the rat.
Oh no.
Yeah.
If you want a 3-eyed rat, I can stop you. But yes, you guys pass by various, we'll say, various cranes and pulleys as you guys get near one of the rivers. Ogre, as you feel out and attuned to this field, it brings you over to, we'll say over here where the crow's neck is. You guys kind of hang near this general area, and you feel this is the zone to attune to. So yes, when you roll for something, you just straight up roll attune. Like I said, you guys can roll what you want to roll, but it literally says attune, so we're going to literally roll attune. Alright, so on a partial success. You do it, but there's a consequence. You suffer harm, a complication occurs, you have reduced effect, or you end up in a desperate position. Okay, so what we're trying to do here is summon a ghost. That is definitely something. Okay. Let's see. I want to say because we're pulling someone up, like, someone that was clearly wrong. You know what I mean? Because this guy tried breaking in and got murked. He ain't gonna be too happy.
I mean, if I promise revenge.
True. We'll
That
say-
and I know the secret method to interact with a ghost hub.
Yes. So we'll say upon
You know, the secret handshake.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Upon summoning him, we'll just say, attuning to the field, the air grows thick, and as it does, both of you feel something tight around your neck, and you feel it tighten further and further and further, and as it does, you can feel that you're being strangled. And then for this moment, we're going to go ahead and mess with harm. So this would be a level 1 harm. So this ghost spirit is trying to strangle you. So you guys have 2 options. You either take the harm, or you choose to resist the harm. And the type of harm this is resolve, because it's a ghost attacking you. Prowess would be physical resist. I believe, I forgot how insight resist works, so their exact description of it. But all the same, that's how that works. So effectively, you resistance rolls, if you guys choose to not take it, you take 6 harm, and then you roll the die, and you suffer that much minus 6 minus that number, whatever you got.
If we choose to resist it,
Yes,
6 harm.
correct. But you, Kim, for example, your resolve roll, you roll the number of die you have 1 point. Sorry, the number of stats you have 1 point in. So basically, that first row. For example, you have 3 resolve. You have 1 prowess and 2 insight. Ogre has 1 resolve, 1 prowess, and 2 insight. So it's that first row that matters. So theoretically, you could roll a 6 and take no harm, and you're perfectly fine. You can also roll
Damn.
1 and take.
So what happens if I take
I would have
it?
3.
If you take it, then you would add to the first one basically damage, spirit strangled, and then whenever you do something, you would have less effect. And then that big chart shows your effect. So your effect is always standard. If that is marked, I don't know if both need to be marked or just one needs to be marked. But that basically would lower your effect down to limited effect instead. That means your body is somewhat stressed. Similar to Fate, you want to take stress before you take harm, preferably. Harm can only be regenerated during downtime when you heal. Also, you are very likely to succeed this because you have 3 resolves that you can take. 3 down.
Yeah, I think I'll try to resist it.
Okay. Mr. Ogre?
I'll try to resist it.
Okay. We'll start with the Ogre. So I believe all you have to do is click on the word resolve, and that should roll a single resolve die. I believe, I could be wrong, double check before you roll it. I don't think you can add, yeah, you can't add the dice to this, I don't think. Suffer success, produce, okay, yes. Alright, so go ahead and roll it for me, Mr. Ogre. Hey!
Oh, no.
Okay, so it does the math for you right there and says you take 5 stress. So on those little tick bars, go ahead and tick 5 of those. That's a lot, but all the same,
Nearly maxed.
it's nearly max, but you guys can reduce stress, and like I said, it's not harm. Harm is always worse. Unlike Fate, these don't clear between scenes, they clear during downtime. So Kim, resolve. Show me your resolve as you feel these cold fingers wrap around your neck. Hey, you roll a 5, meaning you only take 1 stress. So go ahead.
Ooh, it's red.
Go ahead and mark. Yeah, go ahead and mark that for me. Oh
Ogre
no.
took 5 because
Not
he had
bad.
to taste the ghost.
Yeah, so go ahead and uncheck
Shit.
that. That's your experience, actually.
Oh.
Yeah. At the very top it says stress. Very top. Right there.
It should be on your portrait.
Yeah, under your portrait. It says stress and trauma. There you go.
Okay.
Yep. So I guess to say that real quick, where it says abilities, and you have all those pings there, that is your class level. And then where you have insight and those little bars next to it, and then prowess and resolve, those are your stat levels. So when you take experience, depending on how you do it, you can choose to put it anywhere you want, basically. So that's one cool bit about that.
Okay.
Alrighty, so this ghost just tears itself up out of the water, and you see this sickly green aura permeate from it. And looking at it, you can see its arms just sort of like pull away from both of your throats, and you can both breathe once again, looking at this poor, unfortunate soul. You can see very clearly that he too was strangled, as his neck is almost half the circumference it should be.
Okay.
His head is just lolling, almost struggling to keep straight, and it looks to the two of you. And then Kim, you have ghost voice. You know the secret method to interact with ghosts or demons as if they were normal humans, regardless of how wild or feral they appear. You gain potency when communicating with the supernatural. Potency, I believe, I could be wrong, basically means where you have standard effect that would jump up to great effect. So when you roll to speak with the ghost, you would change from standard effect to great effect. I believe that's what potency means. So it doesn't increase your position, it increases your the outcome of the roll. So you see this figure. It looks angry. It looks sad, like it was robbed of something. And you feel like its lashing out was less, we'll say less anger to you specifically, and more just mindless, just directionless hate. What do you do, Cam?
Friend. Do we need to roll anything first?
So when you choose to speak with it, you would roll. Yeah.
I want to speak with it.
Sorry, let me rephrase. You may speak with it baseline, but when you choose to get information from it, so basically roll consort or depending how you want to get money out of it. So if you're trying to sway him, you can sway. Sway would probably be the one you use. Like I said, you tell me what you want to roll. But that's only when you stand to gain something. So I would personally say you don't roll the second he pops up unless you're instantly asking him something, which you're more than welcome to. But you may speak with him as if he's just a person. So
Okay.
you see him, and initially, its speech is garbled, sounds reversed. It almost hurts, like static, in your ears. But after a moment, Kim and Ogre, you can understand this figure. and it looks to each of you, and it looks to Kim. You said hello, friend, or whoa, friend. Is that what you said?
I said, "Ooh, friend.
Okay. It looks to you confused.
Looks like you had a rough time facing the what are they called?
The Lampblacks?
Is that who we're targeting?
Yes. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Lampblacks. Shit.
What?
Hello there.
Sorry. Every time I hit enter, it rolls the die. I should keep track of how many we have. We have 4. Okay.
It looks like you had a rough time facing the Lampblacks.
It looks to you and its eyes are kind of jittering, and then it points to its neck and says, "Yes."
Well, we're on our way in there soon, and perhaps I can trade some info for a bit of revenge.
You can feel a malicious force permeate from this ghost as it sways and begins to move between the two of you, looking about. The lights around it begin to flicker as it stops to look at you, Kim, and says, "Revenge on those bastards that did this to me."
That's right.
You can hear its creaking smile bend upward. Go ahead and... What do you want to roll?
I mean, I guess sway's the best thing, right?
Alright, go for it. Alright, you straight up get it. At increased effect, of course. So you may ask this thing whenever you want to ask it.
Alright,
He's listening.
Let's see. Well, I guess first I want to know who did it to him. And then basically how he got in and went wrong and what went wrong.
Okay. As you begin to ask these questions, the ghost thinks to itself as it's trying to remember. You see its eyes roll back and become black voids as its body actually begins to expand, and it's floating there thinking as its eyes kind of roll back. They kind of twitch for a moment before they both focus back on you. It says, "I remember their names. I do not have, but I tried to get in through a window. They have a room on the top floor that is guarded well. Be careful entering. It looks like no one is there, but there's always someone."
Alright. Is that someone the one who did this to you?
It's not sure how to answer. It just shakes its head no and says, "When I moved in, someone hit me from behind after his shouts. And, well..." He turns and looks to the river. You can tell that all he means to say is that he moved in, blacked out, and, well, didn't wake up here, but was just dead.
That doesn't give you much to go on.
He sort of looks to you and says, "You will avenge me, though, yes?"
Question, DM.
Yes.
Does it benefit us to gain reputations among ghosts? Or is that not possible?
Ghosts are not a faction, but individuals, yes.
Couldn't they be a faction, though?
They could be. Honestly, they might be. There's
The
literally like
ghost
30,
faction.
40 factions. There's a lot.
Secret Ghost Society.
There is so much lore. No, there is one of those. There's definitely factions that don't want you talking to ghosts because only they can do it. There are factions that definitely want no one talking to ghosts because you keep those boys where they belong. I believe for the most part, when people die, I could be wrong. After that little bell rings, your body is yoinked, and then I think burnt down into electroplasm. It's basically the distilled residue from ghosts and Leviathan blood. So when people die, that's effectively what they do to you.
So you can't get your body back even if you wanted it.
his body's gone, but this ghost was clearly able to detach from his body. So his body is probably rotted on the bottom of this river. I think they're called the Spectral Wardens, Spirit Wardens. They did not wait or fish him out. They just let him die, basically. Effectively, what he told you is, if there's a room on the second floor or somewhere that looks empty, don't just walk in. There's definitely someone there, or something is watching.
Okay.
If that helps a little bit.
Yes, I'll do what I can to avenge you.
You see it smile again as it looks to you, Ogre, gives you a slow nod, and just slowly melts back into the river and flows down its like the water. And we'll add a 5th die for that. Alrighty. And with that, we will jump to our engagement roll. As I mentioned, essentially what this means is we just want to roll high. And then we're going for the back entrance, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Definitely not a window.
Definitely not a window.
I do have blueprints, so I could probably see like what the best entrance is, I guess. But
Yes, yeah. So your blueprint tells you that going through the back, realistically, is probably the best. And like I said before, we just jump straight to the action. We are already there, and we are going. If anything... Okay, so let me rephrase how flashbacks work. You can't undo the fiction. You can just add to it. So if I say a dude is here, the dude is here. But in the past, maybe you talk to him, or maybe you're a buddy. Or, Desmond, maybe you can say, flashback real quick and say, oh no, that was one of the guys that talked at the table, flashback to that scene, and then we'll like, oh hey, you by the way, maybe everybody else walks off, and then you talk to him, and et cetera, et cetera. I will say, not all flashbacks cost stress. The simple flashbacks cost 0, if it's something really easy. If it's insane, it's going to cost more than 2. Usually they just cost 1, so they're very cheap. And then when we play them out, well, depending on how complicated they are, you don't want to be too complicated because you're just getting more stress during the flashback. But all the same, yeah. So we're going to go ahead and drop the bones on the engagement die. All right, excellent. That last one roll of 6 looks like we straight up succeed. Nice. Okay, that means on the engagement roll, that is a good result. You're in a controlled position when the action starts. That is fantastic. All right, so as you guys begin to move in through the back door, you look about, and you hear and see no one. As fate would have it, you guys have moved in approximately at the exact right time. What do we do?
go up.
Alright. You guys are currently in a dark room. It looks like a back room. There's a bag of potatoes, multiple bags of potatoes and such. You see that this is possibly a storage room. You guys recall just outside there are various trash bags and such. So moving forward, you guys see that the kitchen is just ahead. And currently, it's unmanned. You guys must have came at the right time. Or maybe
Those
using the ground.
did this kitchen have any like food chutes?
Food chute? Describe that for me real quick.
You know those kind of like elevators that go up and down from the kitchen or the laundry room or some other room
Oh, those
to
things.
quickly move food up and down?
Yes, there would be one that goes up to the second floor. It is a relatively small. It's about the size of a, I'd say like a large-ish platter. It can hold maybe 3 plates.
It's about game sized.
Is that what size?
Is it about
Size?
game sized?
Kim, how big are you?
Oh god, I hadn't decided yet.
If she rolls into a ball,
I mean, you're what were you again? Your class?
Slider.
You're good at like
sliding.
invading stuff, right? Or sliding as well. Or
I
was that
think
another
I'm
class?
good at. I'm pretty sure I'm good at being sneaky. Yeah, let's say I'm like 5'4".
So you definitely have some sneak to you. So is the plan for her to jump in this thing and then move up the
Yeah,
second
we'll
floor?
send her up. And if she needs help, she can like I don't know, give a sign or something.
That's definitely interesting.
Sure,
You-
why not?
You feel as if you probably will fit Kim. but we're not sure how stable this thing is, as it's only obviously meant to hold food.
I mean, if I'm 5'4", I'm probably 110.
Probably. I imagine you as someone who's made of just muscle. Lean muscle.
Well, then I'm going to be a little heavier because muscle's heavy. But yes.
It is, but you're tightly packed, so it's okay.
Tightly packed, alright.
Small.
Yeah.
Can I test it real quick? Like, maybe press some weight on it, and if it wobbles, say no?
Sure. Let's go ahead and let's say you're gonna test it. So there's something else in the background again called a fortune roll, and that basically just says if not if I don't want to decide, but it leaves the outcome up to fate. So yeah.
I mean, I can roll for Tinker, I guess, to maybe make it better. I don't know.
You can. So as you test it, Kim, you actually find that weirdly enough, I'll say it can't fully support your weight for too long, but upon pushing down on it, you can tell that it's actually decently well made. And for a time, you will fit. Going up and down multiple times, I wouldn't risk it, but you can definitely go up and down probably once.
So don't make a mistake.
Don't make a mistake, correct?
Alright, so what's the plan? Since I'm going down there?
You guys are on the first
Like
floor. So
we
the
only
ceiling
know
is up,
up, right?
Yeah, so you guys are on the first floor. You're in like the back area of the kitchen. You guys, we'll say you sort of peeked out one of the windows, and you can see that currently the kitchen's empty. And you do see one of the food chutes. And then as you guys moved in, you kind of pressed your hand on it, carefully of course, and you found that it's relatively sturdy. And that's where we are currently.
Did my blueprint have like a blueprint for the top floor, basically, the layout?
So obviously they try to keep these somewhat underground, so you don't have a full blueprint of the area. But you have a general layout of how it should look. You do know that this building is only indeed 2 floors. This little chute was not included, but you are aware that there are various rooms to the left. So we'll say this building here is basically kind of what one of the layouts are like, and the northern section of the building is primarily for sleeping quarters and such, and then the southern quarter is primarily for where they keep the goods. So if they were keeping it anywhere, it'd be somewhere down there.
Right.
And of course, the chute leads up to the sleeping quarters, or near the sleeping quarters, not directly to them, close enough by that food can be delivered there, and you do know that. And there's also an eatery upstairs and also an eatery downstairs.
All right.
I
So I guess
repeat.
that's the plan.
Wait, what's the plan again?
You go up through the chute, and then go find the sword in one of the designated rooms. Or well, assumed designated rooms, let's put it that. And if you can't find it, come back down.
Okay. I also kind of made a ghost a promise. I guess we'd need to go up to the top room for that, right?
We can set the building on fire as we leave.
Ooh, that's a good plan.
You know, kitchen fire.
Actually, yeah, catch-all. I will do that. Alright, I'll crawl into the box and, get lowered
And remember,
down.
be quiet.
Duh.
Okay. While moving upward to the second floor, this will require something. Who wants to roll what for this? Because you're trying to be sneaky, so I would say Prowl. But Desmond's the one pulling on the rope, right?
Yeah.
You guys decide.
I am going to.
Yeah, the rolls are supposed to be on you guys, and then we discuss it.
I mean, at this point, we're still going up the chute, so I guess I would roll for Tinker to make it go slow and soundless, if possible.
Sure. So, knowing what you know about it, we'll say we use that plus your standard prowess to get that bad boy up there. And it is relatively. So we'll say because it's relatively safe. We'll say it's a controlled position with standard effect.
Did I have any modifiers?
Whatever modifiers you have on Tinker. So basically, you guys never have anything unless you specifically ask for it or gain it in some way. So the only ways to do that would be to push yourself or to ask for a devil's bargain. Of course, I can always offer one, but this isn't currently a situation where
The modifier is just like the basic modifier, right? Not the... Wait, what?
Tinker is 1. Yeah.
I have
So
a 2
do
in
I
Tinker.
actually need to do +1 or?
No.
Wait, do
So you never change the modifier. So the only time you change the modifier is if you're adding a devil's bargain or if you're pushing yourself for stress.
All right.
Or if hold up for you that sorry.
Well,
or
or
someone
if I have
helps.
something too.
Or if someone helps you. So
I was
that's
gonna say,
also,
can I help?
yes.
In that case, yeah, you can pull her up and I'll assist you.
So exactly. So Ogre, we can say you can use your tinkering prowess for that. Desmond, you can help, so that would add 1 die, and it gives you 1 stress. I think. Yes. Yeah. It gives you
Me
1
or
stress.
him?
You. So the helper gains 1 stress, I believe.
Okay.
So just +1 die?
Correct. Yes. Page 134.
It should be a total of 3 die, I think so.
Yes.
We're in a controlled position, right?
This is control position, yeah, because it's all set up well. So when you assist another ally who's rolling, describe what you're doing, and then take 1 stress and give them 1 die. So only 1 person can do this. So it should be a control position and a standard effect. All right, partial. So you hesitate slightly, withdraw and try to approach, or else do it with a minor consequence. Minor complication occurs. You have reduced effect. You suffer lesser harm, or you are in a risky position. Okay. So basically, what this means is either for some reason it doesn't go up all the way, or something happens. So we'll say
It can't come
What?
back down again.
yeah, so we'll say because we know we want to get her up there, you start to pull on the rope, and Desmond is assisting you. Maybe you're kind of checking the various gears and such to make sure everything is functioning and moving in the way that it should. And while you guys are doing this, you're sort of trying to balance yourself, Kim, and you're realizing as you're going up, this is intended for food, not for a person. And you're almost to the 2nd floor, and you're kind of like, shit, okay, maybe we should have done this. And as you do, you're basically in a big wood box that's going up a wooden canal. It kind of teeters, and then kind of teeters again. Maybe you try to right yourself, and it kind of scrapes up against the side, and you make a very obvious sound, Kim.
Me or the box?
The box does.
Yes.
Yes. So when you do that, a sound sort of echoes out throughout the hall. But fortunately, you've made it to the top.
I glare at what's below me.
You're looking straight down at wood. You can't see down, unfortunately.
I mean, I'm hoping that Desmond and Ogre can feel my eye knife daggers.
Yeah. So you know what's down there. What we're going to do is we're going to start one of these bad boys. This is a
Ta-da.
clock.
Oh no.
This is fun. I don't know. This is good shit. Wait 1 second. Play that. Alright. This is going to be everybody. What is it? Oop. You see it? Sweet. Okay, move people up. Okay, whatever. Oh shit, that's not what I want. There we go. Alright. Because you guys were in a pretty decent position, all that happens is you made some sound. And we'll go ahead and tick this up by 1. So basically, to go into like what the meta of that means, everything in Blades in the Dark is clocks. So when you're fighting someone, it's a clock. When you're trying to do something, it's a clock. Anything you do is a clock, basically. So this is effectively the general alertness of the Lampblacks while you're in their abode. So making a sound, making any failures or anything, can increase this clock or can do something else. So a complication, a consequence, can mean many things. It can be reduced effect. You're in a worse position. You lose your opportunity. It could be a complication. So the clock goes up and you guys gain heat because you killed someone or did something. And there's 3 levels of complications because you guys were in a good control position. This is a really simple, just tiny clock. And it's a rather large one, too. So it's not 4. I think they go 4, 4, 6, 8. So you want the clock to be bigger for this, obviously. Or you take harm. But because of the situation you guys were in, no one's gonna take harm, nothing crazy happens. It's just some sound was made. So Kim, you obviously made the sound. You look down with your eye daggers. What do you do next? Sorry.
Lowering me?
I'll let you swallow your food and I'll
Oh,
You're okay. Oh my god, just follow, please. Okay. You're pulled up all the way, Kim. You're on the 2nd floor. So you
Damn.
did succeed. You did succeed. So, yay. Basically, the punishment for... Not punishment, sorry. That's the wrong term. The outcome of this roll just means that you made some sound. So maybe they know you're here, maybe they don't. They're not entirely sure. Upon reaching the 2nd floor, Kim, you look to your left and look to your right. You see that you're very clearly in a hallway. This hallway is lined with various doors. To the right, the hallway ends at a dead end and a window. To the left, it turns around the corner. What do you do? Are you done chewing?
almost.
Okay.
I thought we got rid of all the food in the chute.
Nope.
She had pocket snacks.
How dare
Well,
you? Not
from
sharing?
the layout, which way is the kitchen?
The
Oh,
kitchen's below you
Desmond is
guys.
disgusted at your pocket snacks as he pulls an entire chicken wing out of his pocket and eats it.
Yum!
Where's my food? Come on, guys.
Bring your own food.
Shit.
You have that pocket rat.
Yeah, the pocket rat.
He's dessert for later.
Okay.
I mean, you could send him out to get you some food.
No.
Besides,
I
we're
might
in a
never see him
kitchen.
again. He'll run away.
I mean, a kitchen. Ogre, look around you. We're in a kitchen.
Shit, you're right.
Open fridge.
And I start looking around for food.
Actually, should I save the kitchen for last so I'm gonna set a time bomb?
I mean, we can do that as we leave, right?
Yeah. What exactly are you trying to do?
Well, we're gonna blow up the house, right?
I
Are they
mean,
gonna do
start
it
a
in the
fire,
kitchen?
sure.
So Desmond and Ogre in the kitchen right now. You're on the 2nd floor in a hallway.
Oh, okay. So they.
We
can
aren't
consider
going
it.
to start a fire until you're out.
Okay, okay.
I mean, we
alright.
could actually until let's say that if things go wrong, we'll set fire while you're still up there, and you'll have to find your own way out.
Works for me. Alright. Okay. So per the blueprints, which way would I go, or do I not know that?
I probably would have given you the blueprints, or at least a copy.
Yeah. So in general, we'll say just kind of in general, blueprints and all these things do help. But obviously, if you're in enemy territory, unless you're part of the enemy, you'll never have a perfect blueprint because that's just not physically possible. You have a general layout, and the general layout is what you can see, Kim. You look to the right. There's a hallway that leads to a dead end, and in front of you are various doors. You think these are the rooms. To your left, the hallway continues around the left. So if you look at this here, this goes here, dead end, and this goes this way. So you're basically right here.
The ones in front of you should be the sleeping areas, so avoid
Yes.
those.
Correct.
So then I'll go.
And you know you made sound, so you
I'll go this way.
yeah, okay. So you know you need to immediately do something. What are you trying to do besides just going in a hallway? So are you looking for something? Or are you?
I'm sorry. What's the goal again?
Oh my god! Seriously?
I'm looking for a sword. Where's the sword?
Yeah. You don't know.
We don't know.
You don't know. That's the point.
It's somewhere here, probably.
It's boring to
That's
know
what
where
we
things
assume.
are. You got to figure it
That's
out.
for you to find out.
Yeah. If you walk in
Oh,
and take
dear
it and walk
God.
out, someone else would have taken it.
All right.
Can't be
Well,
easy.
what room does it? Is it like a ceremonial, or does it belong to someone?
You know it's a ceremonial sword that did belong to the Red Sashes.
So it should probably be somewhere special,
Correct. It'll be somewhere safe. It's not just gonna be sitting on the open.
like not on display in a study room, like the boss's room.
Might be, but you have to look to find out. So
That's for you to find out.
it's indeed for you to find out.
But currently, you're in a box. And
Yes.
you made sound.
Yes.
I've already gotten past that.
Yeah. So you got out of the box, and you're moving stealthily around the corner, trying to sneaky.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I want to ignore any room that looks like a minor personage's room.
I'm gonna say go ahead and roll me prowl, I believe is stealth, to make sure you're not hurt. Wow, holy shit, that was lucky. Okay.
Beginner's luck.
I mean, you nailed it. All right. So while you did indeed make some sound, Kim, you're able to quickly take in your surroundings, and you begin to move around the corner. You can see that, pretty obviously, as you pass the sleeping quarters. You move around various planks of wood that might have squeaked, but fortunately you are very fleet-footed in your endeavors. You move around them, and you see to your left, going down this hallway, is a set of stairs that definitely leads down to an eatery, most likely to a war table room or something along those lines, and then leads down to the kitchen. And you can tell
War
that
table room.
You can tell that from up here.
I'll check the war table room. I'll check the war table room.
That's downstairs. You want to go downstairs?
Is that defeating the purpose of coming up here?
Do whatever you want.
Yes.
I will say if you go downstairs, you're probably just gonna run back and just an ogre again.
All right, I'll stay upstairs.
Okay, I'm just throwing it out there. So when you look down, you can see what seems to be like a meeting room, and then you can see like the two obvious doors to the kitchen.
Okay.
So if you go down there, you're basically gonna pass by Desmond and ogre. I won't stop because that's funny, but it's up to you.
This time you're gonna have to crawl back up to shoot yourself.
Yes, I do know now. No way out.
Okay. So we'll say you take a turn to look down the other various halls and such. Desmond and ogre, what are you two doing? You guys heard the wooden trolley bonk on the way up, and then you heard her crawl out and then slowly brought it back down. So while she's trundling about upstairs, what are you two doing?
Everyone was talking about food, so now Ogre's hungry. So I'm looking for food.
Okay.
I guess I'll keep an eye out on what's happening in the other rooms.
Okay. You look out through. We'll say there's like a little window.
Kitchen window.
Yeah, a little kitchen window. And these are dual doors. As you're looking about, and ogre's digging around for food, it doesn't also go ahead and roll survey to check. Basically, we're looking at the area. You think you can hear some folk walking around on the bottom floor, and looking up, you think you see Kim quickly dash across the top of the stairs. And remember, at any time, if you guys are low on a stat, so let me say two things. If you have 0 in a stat, you have to roll 2 and then take the lower. You almost never want to do that, ever.
I definitely don't want to do that.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. If you push yourself, it is 2 stress, I believe, to add a die. 2 stress to add 1 die. Could be wrong. Or you can take the Devil's Bargain, which is basically a list of things I can throw at you, and then we can decide from there. So the Devil's Bargain is usually a plus and minus, so like collateral damage, sacrificing an item, betraying someone, offending or angering somebody, starting another timer, or ticking up a timer, something happens, and I'll tell you what it is before you roll.
Alright. Well, I can't do Safé then, because that's going to be a death for me.
Yeah, and remember, you're always welcome to say, can I roll this instead?
Yeah. If anything, I would probably roll study instead, like see if I can find a pattern or something, or find out which people are present. If there are any people present. I'm not sure
Sure.
that works though.
Yeah, I'll say go ahead and roll that. It'll stay. Yeah, we'll say it stays a standard effect in risky position. Wow, holy shit, you guys are lucky.
Nice.
Beginner's luck.
Alright, you begin to push on this door, but you pause for a moment, and then you push a little slower. Maybe at like just the right angle. You're not sure if they're well greased or not, but you can't risk making any sound, can we? You look around Desmond, you definitely see Kim kind of flit by at the top of the stairs. It's to get to the stairs, it's a quick dash from this current location, but you can see just up ahead there are 3 to 4 dudes, 2 that just recently walked in, and 2 more that are discussing something with them. And it's difficult to make out exactly what they're talking about. They're not really shouting or being too loud. One of them you actually recognize from your meeting, Henner. The other 3 seem to be new. You don't recognize any of them. But they're discussing something, and after they finish their conversation, you see Henner turn to walk upstairs. Also,
And
Ogre,
the other guy that was with us is nowhere to be seen, right?
Ogre, you found some bread that's really hard.
Nice.
Hell yeah, I can put the rat in that. Rat sandwich.
Sorry,
Yum.
what was the question, Desmond?
The other guy that was like wary of me, it wasn't present, right?
He's not present now. He's most likely somewhere else.
Nah, as expected. He might be guarding the room then.
Okay. Do you do anything else?
Probably. No, I'll keep it at that.
Okay.
And
Ogre,
study the situation. If
now
something
that you-
goes wrong, we go
now
to
that
plan B.
now that you have your bread, Ogre, what you doing?
Guess I'll go check out what Desmond's doing.
You see Desmond peeking out the little circular window through the kitchen into what looks to be the entryway, and then just past that, like a meeting room, you see 3 individuals talking, and 2 of them go into the meeting room, and both Desmond and Ogre, you can see one of them turn, and you move out of the way quickly. As you can see, he's walking towards the kitchen now.
Pull out my pistol.
Okay. Desmond, how do you react?
Which one is moving towards the kitchen?
This is an individual you recognize. He's wearing... He's pretty scruffy looking. Looks like he hasn't shaved in some time. He looks mostly awake, and he's scratching at himself as he's beginning to walk towards the kitchen. You can tell that he, like everyone here, is armed. But...
Alright. I'll tell Ogre to go out the back door. Because I made a deal with this guy.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, sorry. Is your pistol still drawn, Ogre?
Yes, but I go out the back door.
Okay. So, weapon out. Desmond, what was this deal you made with this person?
Yes. I mean, he was present in the bar, right?
One of these was, yeah.
Yeah.
He-
Well, like,
he-
the,
he was-
the,
he
guy,
was one of
the
the-
guy
one of the
that's
drunk-
coming
one
up,
of the
yeah,
drunks.
the guy that's
Yeah.
coming to the kitchen, he was interested in, well, running the job I had, basically.
Okay.
So I said I would come by and give him the update. On the condition. Or give him the info about the job on the condition and a favorable slice.
Okay, interesting. I'll say take 1 stress for that. We don't really need to flash back to that because we already did it. But perfect.
Yes. Basically,
alright.
I told him that, well, at first, just a job.
Mhm.
And then if he wanted to earn a bit more of the slice, that he could help me out with something else.
Okay, cool.
Which is that an associate of mine would be upstairs and maybe he could help out.
Sure. So, Ogre, you silently head outside. And there's various bundles of trash. There are places to hide here. They're not necessarily sanitary. I'm not really sure how much you care about that. And you sort of look around and you see, for now, you're not really out in the open, but we'll say you position yourself so you're obviously not too obvious. And before this individual walks up to you, Desmond, will cut back over to Kim. And you can hear some folk moving about downstairs, Kim, as you turn and you see this hallway on the 2nd floor. Once again, it is lined with doors prominently on the right side. And as you sort of take in everything, you begin to hear footsteps behind you. Someone is ascending the steps.
Anywhere for me to hide?
Unfortunately, this hallway is quite open, so you most likely have to dive into one of these rooms.
All right. Dive into the first room.
Okay. as you quickly head into the first room.
I'm also gonna draw a knife while I'm going in, just in case.
I'll say roll me prowl for that. I'm trying to sneaky sneak. And it'll be standard position. Holy shit. Alright.
Beginner's luck.
Is that 3 6s in a row?
No.
Yeah.
Now
Beginner's luck.
watch us roll once for the rest
Yeah.
of the campaign.
Alright.
Yep. That's what I'm expecting.
Alright. It's all good.
Yep.
It's all good. So you quickly whip the door open, Kim. Knife drawn. You are you cracking the door, or are you just waiting behind it closed?
I think I need to wait behind it closed. I mean, the doors aren't that thick, are they?
No.
Yeah, I think I need to close it.
So you fully close the door, and you can hear the figure tap, 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 ascending up the stairs. And you pause for a moment.
There's no one inside the room, is there? I would have looked first.
Well, this all happened very quickly. But as you look about, this room is not lit. You can tell there's no one in it. So for now, you are completely alone, which very much benefits you. You can tell that this is potentially another one of their meeting rooms, but much smaller, as there's a desk and only 4 chairs. You see a weapon or two mounted on the wall. You see various scrolls and such, but looking about quickly, Kim, you can tell that this is not the room that you need to be in. It's most likely further in, and most likely behind a door that, unsurprisingly, should be locked.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am sure.
Okay.
Listening in, you can actually hear the figure go down the other path. Fortunately for you, he's not coming down here just yet. Seems to be going to the sleeping quarters.
Alright, so I'll wait a minute and
Okay.
then peek out.
You peek out and see an empty hall.
Alright, are there any other doors that look like they might be appropriately sized meeting rooms?
All the doors here are the exact same size and shape. Very similar to the other side of the sleeping quarters. They're
Well,
fairly
I mean,
unison.
there's no like door
No
and then
doors.
like 6 feet of space and then.
Oh, you mean the space between the doors? Okay, cool, interesting.
I mean, big meeting rooms should have lots of space just
Space
because the
between,
room's
yeah.
so big.
That makes sense. From what you can tell, there's about 6 doors here, we'll say. You went into the first one. The third one has a relatively large gap before the fourth one. So you can tell that the third room is probably another meeting room. The fourth, fifth, and sixth all have doors that are more tightly knit together. The space between them is equidistant, similar to the door that you're currently next to and the door to your right, the second door. So
Well, look at
you know that the third door is a bit larger meeting room. Room 4, 5, and 6 are something. You don't know what.
We'll head towards the third door.
While you are whipping your way over there, Desmond, how are you going to position yourself in the kitchen while this man's walking up?
I'm gonna stand at like the back door that we entered.
Okay.
Basically as if I've been cautiously waiting there.
Sure. As you do that, you see this individual enter, and he pauses for a moment. You're
I'll
very,
give him a nod.
you're very hard to miss. Your quick nod. He kind of maybe doesn't necessarily remember, and he looks at you and goes, "I'm sorry. Do I know you?"
Well, it's understandable you don't remember after how much you drank yesterday.
He
Actually,
laughs.
was it today?
Yeah, it would have been today. He laughs a little, and you see him slowly reaching for his knife. Not, just out of instinct.
No need to get feisty. You wanted to, well, do a job for me. Get some pocket change. We made a deal.
He
I've simply
narrows-
come here to deliver.
He narrows his eyes again. I'm sorry. Who are you?
Desmond Dawn.
He nods and goes, "Oh, you're that large bloke that we met
From
the
the
other day.
bar.
Yeah, drinking. I remember. Was it today? Shit. I don't remember. Regardless, I do remember you." And he pulls his hand away from his knife holster and begins to walk on over. Yeah, you mentioned you had something for us, like a job or something, right?
Yes.
Alright, and why are you heading through the back there? Well, the front's not necessarily open. Actually, how did you get through the back?
I have my ways.
He
But
nods and goes,
under the circumstances, I like to keep a low profile, so to speak.
okay.
It's bad business for my a person in my line of work to pick a side, so to speak.
Okay. He nods slowly at that and says, right, but the back door should have been locked. And it probably would have been easier to just wait at the front.
Should have been. It was open.
You can tell he's a little uneasy. I'm gonna ask you to roll to convince this guy. Whatever you want to roll. Sway would normally be it.
That's going to be a fun roll.
You can always push yourself to add more die. You can take the devil's bug.
I'll just roll swing.
Okay.
See if I get another 6.
Oh god, now you're tempting fate.
Definitely.
Play risky.
I roll 1. Standard roll, thanks.
Standard. Oh my god.
Nice.
Okay,
Oh
you
my
you,
God.
you guys
Are we sure it's not bugged?
no, it's not bugged. RNG baby. That is 4 6s in a row. Oh man, something really bad is really bad is gonna happen. Holy shit!
Something really bad is on its way.
Just ride this high
Yes.
while you can, boys.
Here, real
Alright.
quick, let me show you a bad roll.
Okay.
There you go. Thought I would show you how it's done.
All
That
right.
levels it out.
Thanks, bud. There you go. You broke the good spree, so we can go back to it. Excellent. Okay. He definitely gives you kind of an odd look initially, Desmond. You can tell he's just sort of uneasy. But as you say that, he thinks and goes, well, shit, yeah. The back door guy might have not locked it. Was it a new chef we had? Shit, I have no idea. Regardless, yeah, I might have been open. God damn it, gotta talk to someone about that. If you don't mind me for a moment, Desmond, he kind of motions for you to move out of the way so he can lock the back door.
Right.
And he
I'll
moves over
move out
there.
of the way.
Yeah. As you move out of the side, he walks past the sack of potatoes and locks the door and turns back to you. And Ogre, you can hear from the inside the door has indeed locked. So you're now outside alone. The door is locked. As I mentioned, there are various windows and such for you to get back in if you wish, but currently the only entrances would be the back door, the front door, or one of the windows. And as he looks over to Desmond, he goes, well, what were you here to do precisely? Just drop off the information? Are you here to talk to the boss or what?
Right, about that. Well, you were the one that specifically wanted the job, you know. And I'll pull out a document, basically, outlining the details.
His eyes glitter a bit at this. Is this a one-man job? Something on the table?
It shouldn't be too hard for someone of your caliber.
Okay. All right, sure. Why not?
All the
You
yeah,
can
all
tell
the details
he's
should be
very
in
much
the-
kind of like relaxed a bit. He begins to sort of look over the document that you presented to him and goes, all right. This doesn't seem too bad at all. You sure this is right in order?
Yeah, should be.
Well, he looks
I
around a
wanted to
bit.
do it myself, but, well, I can't say no to a guy like you, can I now?
He kind of winks at you, and as he's looking about, he goes, "I'll just keep this to myself. Build me a bit of a nest egg, eh?" And he rolls up the sheet and stuffs it into one of his pockets and says, hell, I guess you scratch them all, I gotta scratch yours and all that. Is that all you needed today, Mr. Desmond, or can we do anything else for you?
That depends. You seem like a fella that could be in need of some more money.
Well, who isn't?
I'll chuckle at that. Of course, who isn't? So let's say, how about I give you a bit more of a split if you do me one small favor?
He nods.
Your boss, I think it's boss, right? He said he had the sword of the red sash sitting around here.
Yeah, it's upstairs. Why?
Yeah. If you were so kind to mark the door, or maybe leave it unlocked. Whatever you do.
He narrows his eyes. Why?
Well, you'll find out soon enough, but I'm sure the cut will be worth it. Let's say 80%.
You can tell his demeanor's definitely changed a bit. 80% of what? Why would I... Who would be taking it exactly? Gotta keep that
So
thing
what,
locked up for a reason.
And what reason is that?
Shove the shit in their faces, of course. If someone would take it back, we can't have them regaining control of the district, now can we?
Well, I can assure you no one is taking it back. I still hate those red sash bastards.
You're not
That's for
serious
sure.
that. Why am I leaving the door open then?
Let's say that I have a friend that's interested in making a copy to sell back.
Okay. After you said that, he kind of thinks and goes, oh. And he nods real slow at that. And then you can tell he's like trying to like parse this one out and think it through. Alright. So what you're trying to say is you want someone else to sneak in here, steal the sword, make a copy, leave the copy here, and then what? Sell the sword off and then you and me make it rich?
It's actually not a bad idea.
You know, it's all in a day's work for someone in my field.
He once again nods
Of
a bit
course,
slowly.
if you're interested in that.
It's a little complicated.
If you're not, well,
Alright,
all you'd have to do is mark the door.
you can tell he's interested, but you're asking for quite a bit. They know what happens if they betray the clan, or if you were to get caught doing this. So I would say you can definitely roll this, but I would say, I would say in general, this is a good reason, just straight up. Something else meta, if you guys saw the little sheet, if you ever roll a desperate position, similar to Powered by the Apocalypse games, if you roll, you just gain 1 experience, whether you fail or not. So unlike Powered by the Apocalypse, when you fail, I think you don't gain experience. You only gain experience from completing a mission or from rolling a desperate position, which is when you're not doing so well. But currently, you guys are doing so well that we are very much above board. We're either risky or controlled so far. I would say this is still risky because, once again, he does still like you a bit. And I would say the effect is still standard, so just roll that one normally. Which you're asking,
what?
Sway, unless you can think of something else.
I'm not entirely sure what all the other ones do, honestly.
Realistically, so Consort is socializing with friends and contacts. That one realistically could work. Command is more of a quick, like, hey, you're doing this. And let's see, there aren't that many speech. So command, sort, and sway. So command is very aggressive. Consort is when you're speaking with a friend. Sway is when you're trying to convince someone to do something, which is...
You know what? I'm gonna go with command.
Oh, so you're going to go somewhat aggressive?
I'm going to be a bit more. Well, friend, it seems that you're already quite in a difficult position to. What did I want to say? I can't remember. You've already taken the job for me. What's stopping me from, well, telling you out to your friends at this point?
Okay.
Nobody has to know about our little deal.
Alright.
Nobody will know about our little deal.
I want to say because you're being more aggressive and you're on their territory, realistically this is only the first second time you've met him, I want to say this position is a little more desperate, which, if that's the case, then you can mark experience if you want to go for that. And of course you can add more die via, various options and such. To my knowledge, when you mark experience, you mark it, I have to double check this, we can look later. I think you mark it in the stat, your stat, I forgot. It's either the stat of your choice, or it is your class, one of the two. I forgot, so you can just mark it wherever. It's somewhat specific, but all the same.
Is it just those bars to resolve them?
Yes, so I know they're red, they look bad, yeah, but no, that's good. So when you mark experience, you mark those bars next to resolve. When you max it out, you can just add an extra pip. And then the bars next to abilities, specifically, that's your class level, basically. And then during downtime, you can train, and during after you finish a mission, you also get experience. So.
And what kind of things can I do to, like, add a die to this roll?
So to add, you can do multiple things. You can take the devil's bargain, or you can push yourself. If you push yourself, you add 2 stress, and you add 1 die. You can also, so you can't gain assistance because Mr. Ogre's outside. If you have any item that specifically says add 1 dice when you do this, you can do that, which you don't currently have. If you have a skill that specifically says add 1 die when you're commanding, so they have to be very, very specific. that's basically it because you don't have any allies nearby. So either push yourself, so you can do both. You can push yourself and take those Devil's Bargain, or either.
I'm gonna push myself then.
Okay, so there should be 2 stress and then add 1 die. So then you roll it should be, desperate position, standard effect, and then +1 dice. I'm leaving you.
Oops, I added -1 die. I shouldn't do that.
That's spicy, don't do that. Okay. Not bad. You do it, but there's a consequence you suffer. Either severe harm, a serious complication, or a reduced effect. Okay, so harm wouldn't really make any sense in this specific scenario. So I would say... Severe complication or reduced effect. Alright. I would say when you...
I mean, I did ask him to, like, either mark or unlock the door where the thing is. So.
Yeah. Maybe you catch him off guard with this, and he seems a little peeved, just a wee bit, and he kind of narrows his eyes a bit, and maybe raises his voice a little too much. So I'm going to increase the alert by 2 tabs, just because he's making more noise than he should, and shouting is coming from the kitchen, which you can hear outside. It gains some attention from some of the folk downstairs. Kim, if anything, you can kind of hear this guy because you're actually almost directly above the kitchen in your current position. And he's like, "Well, hold up. You're new here, Desmond, and I do like you, but I don't appreciate that tone precisely. But," and he kind of looks over you, and he can see that some guys saw him. They're like, "Yo, what?" Like one of them drew a sword, and one of them has a pistol. He waves it down. Nah. And they go, "Hmm?" And he's like, and they go, "Okay." And they go back to what they were doing, but you can tell tensions have risen a bit. And he goes, "Listen," and he tries to lower his voice. "All right, you're not shitting me on this, Desmond."
I would never.
He's dead anyway, so it doesn't matter.
You can tell he doesn't want to trust you, but he's like, shit.
Oh shit! But then it's gonna be Ghost.
You're
You
dead.
know how it works in these parts.
Chewing.
Everything for profit.
All right, he keeps looking around a bit.
If you don't like the deal, then well.
And he kind of motions for you to come back to where the back door. He goes, "All right, I don't want them to see you leaving. I don't want, you were supposed to come back here again, but maybe not for this long. I'm gonna trust you on this, Desmond. When am I doing this today? Who's your man?"
Well, if you were to go upstairs right now, if you hear anything, ignore it.
He slowly nods. "Oh, I can do that. But where do we meet up? Same pub?"
Once the deal is brokered, or once the mission that I gave him is completed, you can find me at my shop, and I'll give him like a business card.
Okay. He'll take it and kind of look over it, and it looks official to you. He goes,
It's like Desmond does actually own like a little pawn shop, basically.
Okay.
Really small.
Okay.
He uses it as a fencing
like
business,
a fencing,
basically.
yeah. He looks over it, and we get that nice Victorian era business card, and he kind of, "Oh, I'm really going on a limb here. You know what, though? The money sounds way too damn good. All right, fine. I can do it.
Nobody will find out.
Right, I'll just jimmy up there now, but I need you to head out the back."
As always, I do
Oh.
prefer it that way.
He moves over to unlock the door and then opens it and motions for you to go ahead and walk outside and says, "When can I expect to see you again? 2, 3 days?"
Does he mean like for the job or for?
For the meetup, the payment or something. Basically, he knows he's putting himself on a limb here, and he wants to make sure you don't ghost him. In more than one way, I guess.
Well, I should be there whenever you want, honestly.
Alright, he slowly nods on that and says, "Alright, I'll meet you there in swing by in like 2 days."
Alright.
He smiles and like there's a little less joy in it, more so just because you can tell he's nervous. And he goes, "All right,
Working relations, you know.
indeed.
We'll work
Well,
them through.
take it easy, Desmond. I'll see you around."
I'll see you in 2 days.
All right. He
I'll
nods, closes the
take
door.
my
And
leave.
you can hear it lock as you see yourself out. Ogre, what were you doing outside during this time?
Checking all the windows and stuff to try to get back in. Well, find a spot so I can get back in once he's done.
Okay. We'll say you were definitely doing that. I'll let you choose what to roll, but I would say survey because we're trying to look around and basically check our way in. So whether we're physically surveying the premises or something else.
I think that's about the only thing that works. I have nothing in that. Does that even roll a die?
So when you roll
does
with
it just roll
nothing,
one?
it rolls 2 and you take the lowest. So basically disadvantage.
Oh, okay.
That is very bad in this game, so you preferably don't want to do that. So you'd either push yourself to gain 1 die, you take a level bargain, or something along those lines. And we'll say you did this while Desmond was not here.
Or, I'll just sit outside and look like a beggar, I guess.
Oh, you would have waited? Just
Yeah.
chilled? Okay. So while you're...
I don't want to roll with disadvantage.
That's fair. While you're playing up the beggar, you see Desmond, or I guess hear Desmond, come outside. The door is locked behind it.
Well, what happened?
Looks like we have our inside man.
So what, we don't need to be in there anymore?
Well, we don't. Kim does.
Okay.
Everything is going as
Well.
planned.
Perfect.
I am going to cut back to Kim, but I will ask the two of you, do you want to do anything, or are you just going to wait outside? Because it is very risky for her to be in there by herself.
I mean, would we have like discussed emergency escape areas?
That's why not.
Probably.
That
Like jump
doesn't
through the
mean what-
window.
Yeah, I say if there's anything mechanically you guys have prepared, that's what flashbacks are for. You can say that you prepared like some card or something, or etc. Or you guys try making a noise, or you can always do something to assist her if you know she's doing it, but you have to know she's doing something. Otherwise, I can't say Kim roll stealth, and you want to say, oh, I'm gonna help by throwing a rock at the window. You have no idea that she's rolling stealth, so it would more so be. I guess something you guys are doing
I guess.
proactively? Does that make sense?
How good is Ogre at making a fuss?
I mean, he's an old man that can summon ghosts and he looks crazy, so probably pretty good.
How about distraction for Kim then?
Do we
As long as it involves
need a
moving out of the
distraction?
house.
Well, you guys can discuss that. Let's while you guys are thinking about how to distract, what to distract, basically what to do, we'll cut back over to Kim. You were just going over to the large room, right?
Mhm.
Okay. You go to turn the handle, and it is indeed unlocked. And as you move in, you can tell that this is probably one of the boss's rooms. There's a large. What's the name of the shape? Not L-shaped. C-shaped, I guess, whatever. A large C-shaped desk. With one chair on the inside and multiple chairs lining the out. As you look around, you can see various books and notes and things they keep here. Clearly, this is one of their larger meeting rooms. There's a sword and 2 guns mounted behind the primary chair, but you can tell these are not the weapons that we care about.
Okay. Is there anywhere that looks like a sword hiding spot?
Not in this room, no. And as you begin to look about, you can hear, again, outside, steps coming up. And you hear footsteps get closer and closer and closer. And you pause for a moment, Kim, pushing your ear to the wall of the door. And you hear the footsteps pass by your room. And they keep going by, and they stop for a moment. You can hear someone fiddling with something metal, and then a very light scraping sound. Then after another moment, you hear footsteps go by again, past your door, presumably back to where the stairs are, and you can hear light muffled conversation. What do you do?
So the stairs are around a corner, right?
Correct.
I'll peek out.
You peek out, and you see nothing except for shadow extending from someone that's standing in the hallway that leads down to the stairs. So he's around the corner.
All right, I want to investigate where I heard that scratching from.
Okay. I'll ask you to roll sneaky again as you try to move on over, as someone is relatively close to you.
Sneaky. Prowl?
Mm-hmm. All right. So you suffer harm, complication, or you end up in a desperate position, and or you use opportunity. Too many commas. I know that's not and. I'm pretty sure it's or. Okay. That is no bueno. On your way over, can you open the door? And as you do, you begin to move over to this other door. And you move closer and closer and closer. What you didn't realize is that the door to that meeting room was heavier than the rest. And while you thought you closed it, unfortunately it slammed behind you, making a very loud, very obvious sound. Oh, that's 3 ticks. Okay. So that is no bueno. Immediately, you hear the conversation behind you sort of pick up, and while you did not meet with him, the voice of a certain individual rings out, Henner, and the person he was speaking with, they both immediately react, and you can tell they're going to be down this hallway in less than a second. You are in front of this door. Kim, you got to it. You 100% got to it. You can see that there's a small knife mark next to the door frame, and that's about all you can tell. But this door specifically stands out to you. What do you do?
I'm gonna go in.
Okay. You quickly whip the... so you just, like, open the handle and move in the room really quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Knives are drawn.
All right. Your knives are drawn. Your weapons are out. You can hear 2 sets of footsteps whip around the corner. And you don't necessarily hear shouting, but you hear sort of confused chatter. You can hear Henner asking, basically, why is there sound coming from where you just came from? What were you doing? What were you doing over there? Blah, 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 blah. But he basically just came out of the sleeping room. You can tell that both of them have moved into the larger office for now. You have next to no time, Kim, as you begin to look around. Across the way, you can see that this room is nested in another room. There's a room beyond this one. You see a door that is very clearly locked, but it is gated as well. You can see beyond that door, there is glass between these metal rungs. And as you slowly look around the room, Kim, I'll ask you to survey the room quickly to take in all this information. Okay. You look around the room, and it doesn't necessarily look familiar, but it looks different. And as you begin to walk forward, you think to yourself, is this the room that I was warned about? But before you can finish that thought, maybe you take a step or two too far, and something happens. Something cold and sharp strikes you. And you know it's not a weapon, it's something extra, something paranormal. You almost feel as if you're being shocked, and you can't really tell where it's coming from.
Like a ghost? Or a demon?
Potentially something bad. And with this, you're going to suffer 2 harm, actually. And
All right.
as with everything, you're welcome to resist it.
How do I
This is paranormal, so you would resist it with resolve.
I'll go ahead and try to resist.
Okay, go ahead and roll that. Oh, all right. All right. Okay, so since this was 2 harm, it's downgraded to 1 harm, and you take no stress. So this will be, instead of a 2, this will be a 1, and we'll say it is a what? Singed flesh. All right. So your skin.
How do you spell singed?
I don't think so, but that's what I'm going for. That's like singed. What? How do you spell singed? Whatever, it doesn't matter.
I think that's it.
Yeah, someone Google it for me. Anyway, your skin crackles. You can feel your hair stinging. It is.
That doesn't look right.
It does not look right. I typed it and stopped for a second. I'm like, sing? It is sung. See, the word sung exists because singed exists. Anyway, as you begin to move forward, Kim, you're able to push past it. You can feel this ghostly presence attempting to stop you. But you push and you struggle through. Your skin is burnt. You can smell yourself, unfortunately. It's somewhat unpleasant. You can feel your hair standing up. You're not entirely sure where this came from, but that's of no concern to you. Unfortunately,
Panic, my beautiful hair.
Unfortunately, you do know that this made a fair amount of sound.
The ghost?
This attack, yes. You're basically struck by lightning.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Fortunately, you were able to avoid it. You dodged out of the way, and with your understanding of precisely what it was, maybe at the very last second, you were able to resist a more dire effect. But all the same, you see in front of you is a locked room, and beyond that is most likely your quarry.
So I'm no longer in danger, right?
Not for now. But you do know that they're going to be in this room probably in a second, because you just made a sound.
I will very quickly head to my prey.
Okay, do you have any lockpicking tools?
I don't think so.
You have a sword cane? You have a sword cane? That's cool.
We don't have a burglary case?
You have...
Isn't that...
No. I just have a lot of sharp-edged instruments.
Do you guys have anything? Let's see.
I mean, I have a burglar kit. I could have given it to her, but...
Oh, that's a shame. Okay.
I have tinkering tools.
Well, this is what flashbacks are for, Kim. If you want to say that maybe someone gave you one. Or maybe you would have taken one knowing that this is a...
Sure.
Okay, so go ahead and take 1 stress for that.
Take my burglary kit.
Of course you have a burglary kit, Kim. Why wouldn't you? Fortunately for you, this is that's a smaller burglary kit. It's a one-time use, but you know, it's a one-time job. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. So because of that, we're going to try to break into this bad boy quickly. I could be wrong, man. I really should have the skill descriptions in Foundry. It's fine. They don't need to be here. I think it's finesse. It could be wrong. Picking some pockets, controlling a vehicle, dueling an opponent with graceful arts.
God damn it. I keep deleting stuff by accident.
You can try to pick a lock, but Tinkerer might be better. Okay. So yes, I would probably say then Tinkerer is what you want to go for. Tinker or
I
prowess.
don't have a point in tinker or what?
Tinker or prowess. Not prowess, sorry, not finesse.
I don't have a point in tinker or prowess.
Okay. You can push yourself and take up the devil's bargain. You can do both.
So what's push do again?
If you push yourself, you get 2 stress, and you get 1 dice, meaning you go from 0 die to 1 die, which is still not great. And if you take a devil's bargain, you get another one, except something weird happens.
I'll push myself.
Okay. So go ahead and give yourself 2 stress. And then you would roll. So you'd roll that with +1 because it's currently at 0. Yeah, it's currently at 0. So you want to have +1. All right, cool. You begin to pick the lock, Kim. It takes a little longer than you anticipated, and in this, you hear the footsteps very quickly close in. They're tinkering with the room behind you, and then you can hear some yelling like, "Oh, that's not in that room! It's not in that room, you idiot!" And you hear bumping, you hear various noises and such, and people just not agreeing with each other. And you're picking and picking and picking, and the sweat is greasing your brow as you hear the steps get closer and closer and closer. And you do remember in this room there is indeed a window, but you are on the 2nd floor, unfortunately.
Yeah, the bad floor.
Not exactly where you want to be. Yeah. You do know that this is was a trapped room. Whatever the thing is, the mechanism. You can hear the air in this room begin to grow tense again. So whatever this thing that zapped you, whatever this mechanism that stunned that person that died, probably has some sort of charge timer, and you can tell that it's beginning to charge back up. And as you quickly begin to pick your way into this lock, you can feel it kind of click open, and the door swings open. And you know the people outside very much heard this as they quickly swing the door open and see you beginning to move into this locked room. Just beyond, you can see, not really hidden at all, is a gold rapier. It is currently sheathed, and the hilt has various gems inscribed. You know this is the item you're looking for, Kim. 2 men behind you. What do you do?
Like, within reach behind me?
They are at least 10, 15 feet behind you. There's a table they'll have to go around to get to you. And then there is there are 2 windows that are outside. So, this is weird. Okay, so basically this here, imagine this to be the main room, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then this is the side, like, basically it's like a locked chamber. So you go in here, and then there's like a little table right here, and then there's like a window here and a window here. And then when you go this way, here's the door, and you pass the door, and here's the sword. You have to go in, grab the sword, and fight them, or jump out the window, whatever you can do. They're a good dash away from you.
Alright, the window. Is it easily breakable, or will I bash my head if I jump through it?
You're not sure. You're more preoccupied with grabbing the weapon.
Well, I mean, I gotta grab the weapon and then run.
Yes, so it's hard to make all these assessments. You literally walked in, got shocked by lightning, so you're a little dizzy while you're trying to pick this lock. There's too much going on right now.
Alright, I will grab the weapon.
Okay, you dash forward. You quickly grab the weapon. It's a little heavier than you anticipated, but all the same, you're able to carry it. Unfortunately, this would bring you up to the next level. I don't think you move any slower, but you're now very clearly carrying stuff. So you have 1 extra load on you. You're now on normal. That you still move at normal speed, but you do have 1 extra load on you.
Rude. Alright, and then,
They're moving at you in slow motion. One has one is trying to draw his gun. The other one has a sword drawn. He's slowly moving towards you.
can I take out my throwing knives and toss them at their, groins?
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, you can definitely do that. That's probably a finesse roll. Sounds very finesse to me.
Oh god. Push myself?
Let's see. There's multiple. Let's see. They ain't wreck. It's not prowl, so it's either finesse or skirmish. So I'd say yeah, that's definitely finesse. You're going to throw your knives at cockles.
All right.
Well, hold up. You are in a desperate position before you roll.
Okay.
This is very much a desperate position, so mark experience as well. And I would just say standard effect because they're kind of stumbling. But yeah, this is very much a not great position.
So I mark that,
Yes, correct.
and then what?
And then roll finesse. And then click on desperate position. Versus position. Quick rescue, desperate. And then add 1. You push yourself, right?
Yeah.
Add 1 dice. Make sure you also add 2 stress.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. So you throw both of your knives, Kim. Unfortunately, neither of them meet the cockle of either of these men that are rushing at you.
Damn it.
Damn it, indeed. One of them jumps over the table with his weapon drawn. He charges you, and he swings his blade down at you.
You know, Hub, I specifically avoided stats that were hand-to-hand combat. I hate you.
I mean, you're here alone. What do you expect?
Alright, in that case, I hate Desmond and Ogre.
I mean, you're doing this
Don't
alone
blame
now.
me. You have a lot of melee weapons and don't have any melee skills. That's not
This is
my
true.
problem.
This is true. Well,
No, I
it's
wanted to
training
do sneaky, like, backstab throat cuts.
Well, that. This
I mean,
this
that
is
would
what,
still require a lot of prowl, I guess. But...
Yeah. but you're getting there. No worries, no worries. It's okay.
Clearly, I need to upgrade finesse.
But he will charge at you, and as his blade goes to strike you, Kim, you are to take 2 harm.
Okay.
So you can resist this with prowess, or you can just take it. If you do take it, that means going forward you have -1 die to everything.
I'll try to resist.
Okay.
I mean, is there a reason why you wouldn't want to resist?
Well, if she takes any more stress, she's gonna get a trauma.
Okay.
So prowess.
Roll prowess. Hope you roll well. Holy shit. Okay. Oh my god. All right. Mark 1 stress. Yeah. If she hits into the trauma, she permanently marks one of these. They never go away. At 4, you lose the character.
Right. Pause.
Yes. Pause.
Is it bump, then 1 more stress trauma, or bump, automatically trauma?
Once it's full, you erase everything. Any excess stress gets marked, and then you add a trauma. And you pick which one it is.
All right. So then, if I have this full and that's it, no trauma.
I have to double check. But all the same, that 2 is marked down to a 1. We'll say it cut like the side of your arm. Yeah, we'll say sliced arm. So as this person dives at you with their sword, he sort of trips a bit on the table that he went to dive over to get to you, Kim. You're able to roll out of the way, and his blade cuts not too deep, relatively deep, into the muscle of your left arm, and blood is drawn as you roll out of the way. You see the person lining up a shot with his pistol, and you can hear the crackling of the ghost getting ready to strike again. Fortunately for you, the dude with the sword stumbled forth, and he landed into that side room. So for now, you do know you're safe. But in the distance, you can hear more footsteps coming up the stairs. What does that do, Kim? You do have various items on you and such.
Were we not planning on setting a bomb in the kitchen, by the way?
Yeah, you were. Might be time to do that.
I mean, that's Ogre's business, I guess. Ogre, did you set a bomb in the kitchen?
All right,
What?
so Kim,
I
you're
was
facing
kicked out. What do you mean?
You're facing this window.
Oh, you could have done this before you were kicked out.
Desmond and Ogre. The 2 of you, feel free to discuss this. You guys indeed were in. If you guys wanted to leave any type of bomb or something behind, that would indeed be a flashback. But
While he was scavenging for food, probably. He could have easily left a bomb in one of the cupboards or something.
You could have. Would you have done that?
It was a
Probably.
fireball,
That
specifically.
was the backup plan. Was
Okay.
to set fire to the place.
Side note: do any of you have a bomb on you?
Nope.
Or anything?
Is it an
That's
actual
why I don't know
item,
how we're
or-
gonna do this.
Well, I'm just wondering.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
guys have anything
Well,
that would?
we can flashback for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my thought was like you use your tinker or something to make something explode in the kitchen.
I'd say you are a tinkerer. Yeah, that makes sense then. Basically, what I'm checking is if you guys have an appropriate skill or something that logically makes sense that you just would have a bomb on you. But you literally have tinkering tools on you, and tinker is your highest stat. That's prowl. So yes, you have an assortment for a detailed mechanist work, jewelers. What? Loop? Tweezers, a small hammer, pliers, screwdrivers, etc. Yeah, so Mr. Boy, I would say go ahead and mark 1 stress over. You definitely had a bomb. Where'd you put it?
Honestly, it probably would just be really obvious, like under a table.
Okay. Roll me your tinker skill. I want to see how potent this thing was. Just as is.
So it's 2 stress to push myself to add 1?
No, so you were... Oh, yes,
Or-
two... Okay, so to flashback is 1, so mark that first.
Yeah, I did that.
Okay, and then to push yourself, that would be 2 to add 1 more die, yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay, so go ahead and roll that +1. And we will say, because you guys had plenty of time, it would be great effect. And control position.
Great effect.
And control
Roll.
position, yeah. Okay.
One day I'll roll a 5 or a 6.
No worries. Honestly, 4s and 5s are most interesting. 6 is the only way to actually perfectly succeed. But the problem is, it's boring because it just says you do it. Okay, so it definitely happened. We will say, because this is a flashback, it'll have a slightly reduced effect. But all the same, it's still a bomb, my friend. Maybe when you were putting it together, some of the materials you were able to pick up weren't exactly the highest quality, as Ogre expects, because he's a man of high tastes. And yes, my question to Desmond and Ogre is, when did you guys want this bomb to go off? Is it time? Does it have a trigger?
Good question. It's
Is
probably
that-
useful to have
the-
like a
the-
remote trigger or something.
Yeah, the technology of this world is called Sparkcraft, I believe, or yeah, it's a distillation of spectrology, rituals, alchemy, and technological engineering. Spectrology is controlling spiritual energies and such, and ghosts and pseudoscience bullshit.
Wait, so he can set it off with his ghost magic?
Potentially, yes. So maybe we could say this is like a one-time bomb, where you can maybe have a trigger on it, and it's not super effective, but it's effective enough. You know what I mean? But the science in this world is very pseudoscience. Whatever their definition of electroplasms and sparkcraft is basically what the science is. It says go nuts with it, but don't make anything too crazy. So you're not gonna have like a railgun or anything crazy like that. Because Ogre does lean towards the weird, I would say you could probably have a bing bang boom. that is
Remote ghost
self-charged.
bomb.
Yeah.
Sure.
So,
Probably
I
just do that.
okay,
I mean,
okay.
we were gonna set it off the moment Kim jumped out the window, I guess.
As you guys are waiting outside, you begin to hear tables and chairs and things be pushed around. And as you look up, you guys can tell that this is... You guys position yourself off to the side of the house, because you guys know this is where she's supposed to come from. As you guys are waiting, you begin to hear a ruckus upstairs. And you know she should be the only one in there, and this should not be happening. What do the two of you do?
I give Ogre the nod.
Blow up the bomb.
Okay. You trigger the bomb, and we'll say because of your roll, it does go off when you want it to, fortunately. But it's not as big as you want it to be. Regardless, a bomb's a bomb. You push it, and you
its
kind of...
main purpose was to start a fire, so it's
Yeah,
fine.
exactly. You hit the switch, and you wait a second, and you're like... Hit switch? And then it's like... Tick, tick, tick. You're like, come on, go. And then you just hear this, like... And the walls shake a bit, and you can hear the door next to the kitchen kind of shaking its frame, and some dust and such settles. You see some people around the street and whatnot look around and go, another bomb, whatever, and just kind of keep walking.
Another bomb.
And as people around you begin to walk around because they're used to this kind of shit, you're not sure if the fire has necessarily set already, but your explosion definitely went off. And where'd you put it exactly, Ogre, if I may ask?
On the table, sorry.
I said like under a table, but probably wherever there was like the most flammable stuff.
Okay.
Next to the gas line. Oh.
Yeah, gas line.
Oh, did
well,
you put it in the oven?
They are the lamp blacks, and lamps were kind of their thing. So yes, you put it somewhere that was especially flammable, we'll say. Maybe near some of their alcohol. So with that, you hear a pop, a rather loud pop, shockwave, and immediately you can tell something bad has gone down, which is good for us. Cutting back to Kim, after this individual jumps for you, you can hear a loud pop, and the whole building shakes a bit. And you can tell that your friends probably set off the bomb early. Because of this, I will say that your friends have assisted you in some way, which will bring your... I think your position goes up. Let's see how that works. It's very specific on that. I actually like how clear they are with how Homing Allies works. It's really nice. Teamwork, there we go. Assist, take one stress, give someone, lead group, nope, protect, nope, set up. Perform a setup action, which you guys just did. Anyone who follows through on the setup gains 1 effect level or an improved position for the roll. So, Kim, you can choose to gain greater effect or a better position. Currently, you are still in a very shitty position because you have a guy aiming a gun at you, so you're in a desperate position. If you roll, you'll obviously gain experience. But whatever you decide to do next, I will say you're probably still in this position, just because the situation sucks. So on your next roll, you're going to be risky, desperate. You can choose to increase any one of those with your friend's assistance.
Wait, what am I increasing?
So when you normally roll, you're risky and standard, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you're basically right in the middle of that old chart. Currently, you're desperate, which means when you roll, you're going to gain experience. But your friends helped you, so you can stay desperate but have great effect when you succeed. Or you can go from desperate to risky, so that way you're not in a shitty position. Your choice.
Kind of want XP.
Okay, so good. We'll say desperate position and go up to great effect.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Excellent. So, what do you choose to do next?
Okay, so where are the two guys?
You threw your 2 knives. One of them is just past you. He's in the room where the sword was. You're holding on to the sword in whichever hand.
So he's nearby,
The one with the gun is standing in the doorway, aiming his gun at you. He's about to fire.
and he's far away, right?
He's at 10 feet from you, yes. And the other one's like 10 feet from you the other direction, but he's like on his face, so he'll take him longer to do anything. And then, of course, you have... there's more people coming upstairs, but now they're probably preoccupied with the kitchen that just exploded, so they're probably split. But you do know there's still people coming to this room. You can hear footsteps in the hallway, and then you obviously have your window to the right.
Alright, question.
Answer.
Chance powder, how does it work? Is it like in a drink, or can I just toss it in someone's face?
That's a wonderful question. Trance powder, a dose of the popular drug, which induces an altered mental state. The victim of this powder is not fully unconscious, but rather retreats into a calm, suggestible mental state similar to hypnotism. I would say if you throw your entire load at him, basically, if you just like maybe cut as you're running forward, maybe you just like slice into this and just chuck it at him, you're not going to have it for the rest of this score, because you guys are running anyway. I would say he has no choice but to inhale it. I don't think... Normally this would just be used. So let me put it this way. Is what you're trying to do is throw the thing and then jump out the window, or...
Yeah.
Okay.
Either way, I need to throw something at him, or else he's just gonna shoot me as I'm jumping.
Yes. So I will say, if you succeed in the jump, he won't shoot you, because you jump too well. So basically, to be completely transparent, your choice now, if you jump through the window and succeed, you just do it, you don't take any damage. If you fail, he's gonna shoot you in the ass on the way out. So basically, if you throw this thing at him and fail, he'll still shoot you in somewhere. In your front ass.
We'll give you flashback, butt petting.
Butt petting?
Yeah,
butt padding.
Butt padding, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You specifically had...
Not butt peddling, that's something else.
Yeah, Kim pats her butt. So for complete... translusion, that's not a word. Is translusion a word? Whatever, doesn't matter. Transparency. Complete transparency.
I mean, we could break a window.
Yeah, so with how this works, you can, with this current action, throw your hoo-ha at him, and that will stun him. And then we can cut back to Desmond and Ogress. If they know you're in this room, they can try breaking the window from the outside, and then you can jump through an open window. That's something you can do.
Sadly, the explosion wasn't enough to break the windows.
Yeah. So that's something or you can just try jumping through the window, and if you succeed, you make it through. You don't need to throw a thing at all. Totally up to you.
I'll go ahead and jump through the window.
Okay. So we'll say that is still a desperate position with great effect.
What do I roll for that?
Nothing you're gonna want to roll. It's either wreck or finesse. And that's not prowl. You're not talking to anyone.
Wreck sounds appropriate.
Okay, you're wrecking this window and jumping through. If you, oh god, oh shit, you're too stressed off. Okay.
Yeah, I'm 2 steps off.
All right. To answer your mechanical question, I have to answer this now. Okay. Stress and trauma. I don't know. Okay. We'll save it maxes out, don't worry about it. We'll say you only gain a trauma if you go past max. How's that sound for now?
Sure.
So you can push yourself and take a devil's bargain. It's not gonna be an issue. You said it goes to help her escape, so the help you guys offered was the explosion. For now. Because the action we're assisting is her jump.
Let's
Okay.
see.
So
Is
it's
this
gonna be
devil's bargain appropriate?
Could be.
I mean, if you choose a violent action, you do get bonuses for this district, right?
Is it better to use devil's bargains early or late?
So devil's bargains are strange. Basically, I'll say for this one once again, transparency. If you use this here, I'll say you get +1 die, but you're going to get a -1 reputation for this group, an additional -1 reputation. It's going to be the double.
I mean, she specifically or the group?
Your group, yeah. So if your crew will have an additional -1 against these guys.
We're not trying to be friends with them, so...
Clearly. So that should be fine. And I'll say
Oh,
that.
but then we can't double team them to the other guys. Were we trying to do that?
You can try.
I mean,
I mean, I
depends
guess
what you
Desmond
do.
could still. They just don't have to know I'm involved.
Because you guys are at 0, and I think doing this against them puts you at -1, and then the double bargain puts you at -2, which puts you pretty close to a not great stat.
Well, you know what? Lamps are dumb.
Lamps are dumb. Who likes lamps?
Crows are so much better.
Crows are way cooler.
I mean, eventually we're gonna set up the crows anyway.
You know what? Let's try Devil's Bargain just for the fun of it.
Okay, are you devil's bargaining and pushing?
I hate you. Sure, why not? I'm
Alright,
gonna need a
cool.
lot of de-stress after this.
Alright, sounds good. Go ahead and take 2
I'll,
stress.
I'll just pay my bow a visit.
Sure. Take 2 stress.
I hate you.
I love you. 2 stress, and add 1 experience.
1 XP.
And then add +2 dice. So yes, no matter what happens, you're going to lose 1 point with the lampblack. So I'll do that now. You guys are adversaries. Oh, okay,
Ooh, you
good
didn't
job.
even need it.
Doesn't matter. Still rolled it. Holy shit. 6 and a 1. Duality of man. As one does. Okay, and as I said, Kim, you are able to tell me how you do this. You succeeded, straight up. How you do it? An explosion goes off. You see this man aiming a gun at you. You see the window. Cut to Kim.
Well, I'm gonna dash straight at the window.
Okay.
Can I say that
Oh, there's no can, my love. You did it.
well, I mean, can I say that I scoped the outside before going in, and there's something for me to grab onto so I don't fall 2 floors down?
Of course, yeah. You did it.
All right, so I'll dodge through.
Here, real quick. I'll put it this way. If you fail this roll, on the way down, I would have had you take damage. So because you completely succeeded, you nailed it. Go. Just go nuts.
All right, so I'll dodge through. I'll acrobatically grab onto something, do a
Okay.
couple fancy swings, and then fall down.
All right, excellent.
Do a
Desmond
triple
Ogre,
backflip.
you see Kim do this very elegant, just bash through the window and a flip as she kind of hangs on to part of the window and then jumps down to another one and then lands next to you, both of you, wielding the golden saber. And you can hear shouting, screaming, and cursing coming from the windows. What do y'all do?
Run.
I open
Run
the
away.
nearby sewer grate and jump in.
You what?
Open the nearby sewer grates and jump in.
Do you fit?
Let's say that I'm perfectly shaped. to
You're
fit.
the exact same size. And because the streets are so dirty, the hole's lubricated, so you just like
Oh,
slide down
your
onto
poor
there.
white suit.
It's a green
That's fine.
brown suit now.
It's kind
Um,
of like one of those shape puzzles, like Desmond fits perfectly.
By the way, all
Yes.
of my throwing knives are marked with TikTok.
What do you mean?
They're marked.
Oh, they say TikTok on them?
Yes, that's my calling card.
Okay. So you mean
Yeah,
the
I
two
mean,
knives that
we-
you missed with?
We gotta gain rep somehow.
Okay.
I
So
mean, my calling card is also in the kitchen, so
Okay.
it's a chicken bone.
It's a chicken bone?
It's a
Does
chicken bone.
it say
Like
anything? Or is
like
it
just a
chicken bone?
full eaten chicken bone. That's it.
Okay. That works for me. Alrighty, so I might do some things out of order as we are new to the system, so we're still figuring things out. Okay, so you guys have successfully succeeded on this plane. Alright, so score, done. Congratulations, we win. As you guys escape, you can hear more shouting and screaming coming from this lamp black warehouse. They are very, very angry. Congratulations. You super pissed them off. So, a couple things are going to happen now. We're switching to the downtime phase. If you guys wish to roleplay anything, please let me know. If you want to just drop off the blade at the crow's nest, you're more than welcome to. You tell me. Or we can cut back to your guys' abode. Do you guys have a base yet? Or are we still deciding? Do you have a temporary base?
mean,
like
we do
Desmond's shop?
I mean, yeah, we have to have a temporary something, just a
Yeah.
little.
Technically, you could be at my shop temporarily,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
that
not
doesn't
really
sound
it's
big.
not really big.
Yeah, okay.
Like it's one of those shops that was basically made in an alleyway, and it's probably not entirely legal for it to be there. It's literally that thin as well. Like one person can fit inside, and that's me.
Okay.
And it has like 2 stories. That's it. I sleep upstairs. They can fit in as well. Yeah.
fair.
I mean, I guess I'll see if the guy that I made a deal with actually shows up. If he wants his money or not.
So that'll be probably a couple days from now because of all the shit that went down. So we'll go into the pre that phase, downtime phase. Do you guys want to roleplay giving the sword back to the crow's nest, or do you want to say we just give it to him and get your money? Totally up to you.
Yeah. I mean, that was what we were doing, I guess. They did want it.
Are we gonna give it to them immediately?
I mean, why not?
So basically, anything you guys do, will go up one on that.
They do want it subtly, though.
Yes. So, like I mentioned, the free period of this game, the extra stuff we do, any of that can very easily be played out in certain ways. So it depends entirely how you guys want to do it. So we'll say there's a couple things we do with downtime. First and foremost is we're going to gain 2 rep plus 1 rep per tier higher they were than you guys. Let's cut over to the crew. Where's reputation?
They were tier 2, right?
We gained 2 rep. They were 2 rep. So you guys they were tier 2, so you guys get 4 rep for that job. That's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, no, you almost exploded, so yeah, you deserve that. So you gain rep, silent operation. That was not very silent. Very not silent. We get 4 coin. Oh wait, shit. I thought you store coin here. Oh shit, I forgot how coin works. I thought coin got stored on the crew.
It is. It's below
Yeah.
like the hold.
Yeah, only 4 can be
It's
stored.
only 4 though.
That ain't right.
I think that's because we can only store 4 at our current size. Did we ever
You
pick?
start with 2. I'm not entirely sure. We do have to pick where we land, and when we do, you need to pay coin for it.
Yes. I
I
mean,
don't
let's say we
know.
have a. I don't
I'm
mind
not sure
if we
how
have,
this
like, a
works.
crew.
So each of you, I know this isn't how it works. We'll say Desmond, give yourself 2 coin, and then you 2 1 coin each. Him and Ogre 1 coin each. We'll figure out exactly how that's supposed to work later. You guys have no tithes because there's no crime boss currently. We'll list that later. Because this was a contained standard exposure, you guys are going to gain 2 heat. You gain extra heat if this was a well-connected target, high profile, if the situation happened on hostile turf, or if you are at war with another faction, and because no one died, you don't gain 2 more heat, so you only gain 2 heat for this. Crew, you gain 2 heat for that. At the end of each session and each shindig, for each item below, mark 1 experience, or instead, mark 2 experience if that item occurred multiple times. So execute a successful espionage, sabotage, or theft operation. We did that. Contend with challenges above your current station. I say you guys did that. Bolster your crew's reputation, or develop a new one. Yeah, same thing. Express the goals, drives, inner conflicts, or essential nature of the crew. Probably not yet, but we're working on it. So, let's see, mark 1 experience or 2. Oh, no, you just marked 1 experience, okay. So mark 1 experience. Or, hold on.
No, you mark 1 or
For
if it
each
happens
item
multiple
below.
times
Okay.
for each item.
2. Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So, if you
So we
execute
can do
like 3
espionage
operations.
multiple times.
Yeah, so basically, if you did like 4 or 5 operations, you only still mark 2 experience. Okay, that makes sense. You don't keep marking. Okay. So we did. Oh, so at most you get 4
I
experience.
mean,
that makes sense.
would for instance our bomb be a second successful sabotage in this case, or
That should
is it
be
just
1.
like
All that was 1 operation on 1 crew. If
Okay.
you screwed with another group, I'd say yeah. So 3 experiences is pretty healthy, I would say. Not bad. I forgot to start on stronger. I think you guys start on stronghold. So keep that heat, reputation. Okay. So heck yeah to that part. And now we go to downtime activities. Yay! Okay. So downtime activities. 2 activities per downtime. If you're at war, you lose activities, but you don't need to worry about that. If you choose to pay 1 coin and 1 reputation, you can get another action. So you have a handful of things you guys can do here. You can acquire an asset. You can start a long-term project. You can recover. You can reduce heat. You can train, or you can indulge in your vice.
do they offer different levels of stress relief?
The only way to reduce stress is to indulge in your vice.
Guess
Well,
I'm doing
that's
that.
most important to me.
Okay, so
Yes.
technically you guys could all do that. The way your I'm trying to figure out how money works. Because I'm pretty sure all money is on you guys, but you don't get 4 each. That's insane. But splitting 4 is kind of unfair if it's not 4 people. Or just work 3 and call it good. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
I mean, yeah, it should be like crew, I think.
Yeah. Well,
And
technically,
any actual money we have is like, well, just money. It isn't like coin.
yeah, technically how money works in the game is it is your money, like you. It is very much your money. Because when you retire, or preferably not die, when you're done, what you're supposed to do is you retire, so your character retires, and then you look at how much money you have, and then you base that money off of how you can retire, basically. Let's see. Downtime. Detail. Hissing ships.
Lover,
Yes.
the thing that shot me with lightning, that was a ghost, right?
Correct.
Would my Spirit Bane charm have made it avoid me?
What does that say exactly?
A small arcane trinket that ghosts prefer to avoid.
Oh. I'll say mark 1 less stress. Let's see. How does stress work exactly? Trauma. When a PC marks their 8th, when you mark your 8th stress box, you suffer a level of trauma. So once you max it out. So that means you would normally have a trauma. So yes, good job.
It should be 9th.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, there's 9 here. That's weird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 9. Okay. I guess they added that 9th one to
Oh, as to mark the trauma?
as to mark the trauma, yeah. So good. Oh, that means you're at 8. Shit. Okay, we'll do it. It's okay. Having a trauma on our first heist is not exactly the best idea. That's not fun for you. Okay.
I mean, realistically, she wouldn't have taken harm either. So if
Okay.
the charm did this
So,
thing.
if we're indulging in our vice, I actually love how this works. First, we need to specify and how we indulge, and which purveyor of the vice we wish to use. There's actually a list of NPCs and locations you guys can go to, but we can list that later. I don't forget exactly where it is in the book, but it's actually kind of
You know
cool.
where I'm going.
So we'll start with Desmond. The vice options are faith, gambling, luxury, observation, pleasure, stupor, or weird.
Take a guess.
Gee, I wonder. You guys ready? Right?
He's gonna stress eat.
Say what?
Literally.
Luxury, and gambling. Excellent. Okay. So the way that works, I actually love this one. It's actually cool. Alright, so indulge in your vice. You roll your weakest attribute rating. Most enthrall to the vice. Clear stress equal to the result.
My weakest, as in one I have picked, or one I.
So your weakest rating would be your prowess, because your insight is 2 and your resolve is 3.
Right.
So you'd roll your prowess, and roll the weakest attribute rating. Clear stress is the result. Is there a clear stress button? I don't think there is. Oh, click the stress button. That actually might do it. So we'll start with Desmond.
Stress button.
Yeah, where it says stress. Just click the word stress. Thinking. Oh shit, they cleared it all. Damn
Yeah,
it!
that just clears it.
Where were we at? 4?
I think 4, yeah.
Yeah, I think we're 4. Okay, so just click on prowess. Woo! Okay, Jesus. You reduce
Nice.
or avoid area. Nice. Holy shit. Okay, so that means you. Oh, that's not good. Okay, well, you clear 5 stress. So that means if you clear more stress than you had, you have to overindulge. So, when you indulge in your vice, there we go, overindulgence. Okay, 4 options. You attract trouble, which means we roll in an additional entanglement, and that's with other clans that we mess with and whatnot, other groups. You can brag about your exploits while you're stress eating, which gives you +2 heat. You're lost, meaning you vanish for a few weeks. You can play a different character until this one returns. you heal any harm you had. We'll skip that one because that's weird. Or you're tapped. Your current prayer cuts you off because you overdid it.
Probably the last one.
You're gonna overeat that much? Okay. We'll.
I mean, I have multiple places I eat at, but it's
Yeah,
just
true,
like,
true,
you
true.
know,
So we'll.
I'm eating him into bankruptcy, and he doesn't like that.
Yeah, we'll cut that one off. So I don't know if that means luxury is cut off or that specific location is cut off for luxury. I'll have to double check. I know there's a list of luxurious locations, but let me go ahead and just note. For Desmond.
For how long is it cut off? For forever, or?
I'm not 100% sure. I have to double check on that. But you don't trust. Okay, then Kim. How are you choosing to? You're gonna de-stress, right?
Of course.
All right. How are you doing it?
I'm gonna visit my bow.
Okay. Luxury is defined by expensive or ostentatious displays of opulence. How are you spending money to do this?
I'm gonna rent my bow the entire night.
The entire night. Okay. Go ahead and roll me some of that prowess. All right. Unfortunately, you only reduce 1 stress.
I guess my bow wasn't in the mood.
Now, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you can do the same thing twice. Like I said, I could be wrong.
I mean, you could do 2 downtime actions, yeah? I think
Yeah,
you
do
said
2
that.
downtime actions. I think you can do Vice 2 times. Could be wrong, I'm pretty sure you can, if you want. You can also pay a gold to do it again, if you want.
If you don't de-stress, I'll give you a gold of mine.
So hang on, I can do it
Because
free
you did earn
twice?
it.
Okay, so you have 2 free activities. If you want to pay for a third, it costs you a reputation or a gold. Reputation obviously is both in the bank.
Well, if I'm gonna do it the whole night, then I'll just do stress twice. I mean, vice twice.
Okay, so go and roll it again.
Prowess again?
Yes.
Why prowess?
You roll your worst stat.
Oh.
And all your stress is gone, and actually you have 1 left.
Okay, that's all. Yeah, so you lose all your stress except for 1. Good job.
3, 4, 5, 6.
All right. So that's
know
both
what?
your downtime activities. What did you hear?
I mean, Desmond is generous. He would probably give Kim 1 more action with the gold.
Considering I did all the work.
Yes.
That's fair. Okay, you'll have 1 more. All right, Ogre.
I have upticked my coins.
What are you doing to
No, I've used my coin.
What are you doing, Ogre, to de-stress?
Hey, playing blackjack.
Okay. All right. Roll me your
There goes his coin.
prowess or resolve, your choice. Roll well, my friend.
Does indulging actually cost a coin at all? Or?
No.
No.
Indulging just
It's just your
okay. So
action,
reduce
okay.
your stress by 5. Nice. So you play this really fun game where you don't want to de-stress too much because you'll overindulge, and I think if you cut yourself off from too many areas, you just can't de-stress anymore. So you obviously don't want to keep doing that one either, but that's a really fun middle thing you can do. Okay, so each of you have 1 more thing you can do.
So then Desmond can't go back.
Not to that specific location, but like I
Not
said,
to that specific.
there's a
not
list of
sure.
locations, and I'll cross them off. Like I said, this game can be insanely complex. We'll just keep
Like,
it
just
chill.
cross off one of the either food places or drink places or something.
Exactly. There's a specific list of the ones you guys have access to, and after a while, they're just gonna cut you off forever and you can't go back. And then the cool thing is you can break rules anytime you want in this game. So you can just say, "Oh, I'll do something for them. Let me do a job for you. Let me prove that I won't eat your entire stock in one night." Oh, fine. So the next thing you guys can do, you can see this on. I uploaded a cheat sheet on page 7. You can see all your downtime rules. Almost all of these PDFs I gave you guys have some variation of a cheat sheet to show you what you can do for your downtime rules. This one puts it all on 1 page though, so it's really easy. So each of you can do 1 more thing. You can acquire an asset, start a long-term project, recover, which you might want to do, Kim. Indulge Vice, you already did that. You can train, which means you can mark 1 experience on your playbook track. You guys, though, are special because your crew has a bonus on one of your upgrades. Whenever you train, you earn 2 experience for prowess.
Man, I kind of want to train. Screw singed flesh and a sliced arm.
So the downside,
You also
That's
gain
gonna
a-
penalize me next time, though, right?
this literally just means that you have less effect on every roll. So the chart that I just closed, because I'm a genius, basically rather than having standard effect, you always have less effect. Always.
All right. Well, I have to recover.
Okay.
We also get a +1 where we acquire asset, I think.
I believe so. Which one was that?
Special ability for the crew. Backrats.
Did we take that one or no?
I mean, it's in the list, so apparently.
Oh, there it is. Yep. Whenever you acquire an asset, add extra dice. Nice. Oh, especially not upgrade. My bad. I'm wrong. Okay, so to roll
What exactly
healing,
was it again?
recover. So, Physiker. Roll Tinker or NPC quality. Unfortunately, we don't have an NPC that can heal. You guys don't have any healing skills?
I don't think so.
No.
Alright, so if we have no Physiker, you pay 1 stress and roll 0 dice to heal. Which means roll 2 to lower roll. PC Physiker means one of you need to have that ability, I believe. Does not require any downtime, just to recover. Healing Self costs 2 stress, requires the Physiker special ability. Acquiring a Physiker...
Wait, I could have used a stress point to heal her, or help her heal?
So basically, if you... This is weird. I need to double check this. If you have the Physiker ability, you can heal someone else. You gain stress, I believe, but no. They gain... whatever, I'll figure it out. Someone gains stress, but it doesn't take up any of your time to heal someone. The person that's healing loses the time. So you can heal like crazy.
But I do need the heal thing, so I don't have that.
Right. Acquiring a Physiker, NPC Physiker, or can be acquired as an asset. So you guys can acquire an asset as a Physiker. Assets you can acquire are... So you roll the crew's tier to determine the relative quality of a temporary asset. Usually 1 score, extra quality, +1 quality for 2 coin. If you choose to... Basically, you guys can throw money at any problem.
So what is that an asset? Like a house and furniture?
So I'm going to go through that real quick. So assets are special items, a set of common items, a cohort, a vehicle, or a service. The minimum quality is set by me. It's usually your guys' tier. Reacquiring an asset takes an extra die if you want to reacquire the same person. You get to keep them for 1 score. So basically, if you acquire a cohort, the cohort can be a Physiker. So one of you can roll acquire Physiker. Like I said, Kim's out of rolls. She would have to use one of her rolls to recover. So one of you could roll if you wanted to. You could acquire a person. And that person can help you guys for basically the duration of 1 score. Because you guys have pack rats, you get to roll an extra die to acquire this person. Let's see, permanent acquisition is a crew upgrade or a long-term project. If you want to have an asset basically forever. If you want a dangerous item, like bombs and poisons, or alchemicals, you gain extra heat. If you're reacquiring something, you just spamming the same thing over and over, you get to add a die, so it makes it more frequent. You actually get it.
I could have sworn we had a list of assets somewhere.
All right. Well, since I'm going to recover, how do I do that?
I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure you need...
You never say I could be wrong this many times.
This game is kind of complicated. I love it, but like there's a lot going on, and it all works together, which makes it really cool. But there's a shit ton going on in this game, and this is our first time playing it, so only reason I say I could be wrong because basically you're screwed is what I'm about to say in 2 seconds. You can't, to my knowledge. You can't heal yourself. You need someone to do it for you, or it's going to cost you 2 stress just to heal yourself, and you might fail. So basically, you're not going to like the answer. So if you don't have a Physiker, it says pay 1 stress, roll 0 dice. If you're healing yourself, it costs 2 stress. So I think that means gain 3 stress. I could be wrong.
No, wait, we do have a coin thing. No, never mind.
So I think that's what that means.
So basically, see if we can hire a Physiker right now, and then have them heal me?
Yeah, so basically Desmond or Ogre would need to hire the Physiker, and then you can heal yourself. That would be the best option.
Okay.
Turns to Desmond and Ogre.
Sure. I don't mind.
What do we have to...
Doctor.
So you
What
need
do we have to roll
the
the higher?
You need to roll the crew's tier in order to determine relative quality
tier
of a
0.
temporary asset. You guys are tier 0, so you roll 0, which I'll go ahead and roll that for you.
For fuck's sake.
It'll just be that,
I think I just deleted one of our crew upgrades
of course.
because the button is massive.
Did you? Oh, you definitely did. I have no idea which one it was either.
It should be on the list.
Also, yeah, the button's definitely too big.
Annoying. I kept deleting all my items in my loadout
Well,
as well.
I did open it a second ago if you want to rewind the stream for 2 seconds. I was just looking at it. Okay, so I failed wonderfully.
It's oh, it's the underground. Wait, is it? Yeah, it's the underground one.
I think that just means 1 tier, which is not bad. That just means you roll 1 dice, which is technically fine. So PC physicers can be acquired by an asset. So physiker, roll Tinker or NPC quality, which is 1, and then feel your healing block. Okay, not a big deal. So basically, all that means is we roll 1 die, because they're tier 1. I could be wrong, I'm pretty sure how this works. And then you heal for that much. 3, okay? So you heal for 1, 2, 3. Basically, once you fill this thing to full, you can heal. All your harm goes down by 1 level. So your 3 turns to a 2, your 2 turns to a 1, and your 1 goes away.
I'm confused. What?
Whenever you heal, fill this clock up, all of your harm goes down 1 level. So your 3 turns to a 2, your 2 turns to a 1, and your 1 goes away entirely. So if you heal, your 1 and 1 just goes away.
So if I get 1 more heal point, I lose both the Singed Flesh and the Sliced Arm?
Correct, you're completely healed.
Okay.
Now, something else that's very important is I'm pretty sure you can't take damage. Or you lose your healing. Because you're in the process of healing. So this means that you are currently recovering. So I think, if you take any damage, Kim, you lose those 3 ticks.
So I should have a second backup character? Is that what you're saying?
Well no, you're not gonna die.
Just go in hiding.
Basically, yeah. So basically, all that means is during this downtime, on your guys' next hit, you want to be super careful. You want to make sure it's not that big of a hit, or you want to make sure you're kind of in the background, Kim, supporting people, or like stealthing, or you don't go in alone, basically. Like I said, this game is very deadly if you guys don't work together. Like, very deadly. You almost got a trauma on our first outing.
I'm aware.
Yeah, so like it can, you guys can eat shit really quick, but that's the fun of it, because like you're always rolling, and the like shit could always go down. May I also ask who used their 1 roll to help Kim get the Physiker, by the way?
It can be mine. Or
No,
his.
it's fine.
Okay. Then Ogre, what do you want your other downtime to be?
What are the options again?
They're on page 7 of the system cheat sheet. It's acquire asset, which is the thing we just did. You can start a long-term project, which that's a whole separate mechanic. You can recover, which you don't need to. You can reduce heat. You can train, or you can indulge in your vice. If you train, you gain 1 experience anywhere, I believe. Yeah, mark 1 experience literally anywhere. Or add +2 to prowess, because you guys have a bonus to your group.
I guess I'll train.
Okay, which one would you like to increase?
Resolve.
Alright, sounds good. So you had 1 hit to resolve. Now you guys, there might be more experience somewhere that I'm not seeing. So I don't know if you guys get experience for completing a score. Because there's all this extra stuff you guys can do. There's crafting, there's rituals, there's a whole bunch of crazy cool shit you can do. I'm trying to see if there's anything special. Okay, you got your payoff, and return to free play, which means you also have to screw around again. I need to double check to see if we missed anything. It's actually funny. A lot of these cheat sheets are missing 1 or 2 random things that we do, which is somewhat frustrating, but I'm pretty sure we got everything. Yeah, this first sheet tells you, right, pushing yourself is 2 stress, add +1 to a roll, add +1 to level, or take an action while incapacitated. No, that's nice. Yeah,
So how did we?
there, nice. Okay, how'd you what?
The when we got the asset, the healer. What
I need
do
to
we
double
have
check
to
how
roll
that
for
works. You roll your tier of your crew.
Yeah, which is 0 for us currently.
Which is currently 0, yeah. So
But you get a +1 at least, so from the ability,
from what?
from our ability,
Yes,
special
yeah.
ability.
Yeah, I had a +1 and rolled well, I rolled 2 die and so we got 2 1s, so that's not why
I
now.
think it also says +1 result at level per coin, but does it mean we need to spend the coins for that, or?
That means you need to spend a coin, correct?
Ah, that's too bad.
If you wanted to, we could have spent a coin, and I can
We can
reroll
also
any of
we
the
can
die.
also add a +1d for friends and contacts, but I'm not sure we have one.
No, you guys currently have nothing. The point of this game is you build up from literally nothing, and you get bigger and bigger and bigger, and you do more and more shit, basically. If you want to spend a gold, we could have said that trying to find that extra person, let us roll the second die. We can see if they fully heal Kim. You want to try that?
We used it for recover, right? For the position, yeah.
So you guys should currently have 1 gold coin each. Yes. If you want, you can spend 1 more coin, and I will re-roll. I'll roll 1 die. Is it? No, 2 die. Yeah, 2 die because they be tier 2. I can roll 2 die, and you can heal for that much instead. It might be the same amount, so I guess just a warning. But I can do that if you want. It's up to you.
I'm also looking.
Basically.
Yeah, I'm also looking what exactly or how exactly we acquired a physica.
Permanently,
Oh,
that's a
they-
long-term project. So currently, you guys have a physiker for basically this one school. So let's say Ogre got the physiker. You would roll. You get the physiker depending on their tier. That's how many die you roll. So if they're tier 3, you'd roll 3 die. If they're tier 1, I guess, so you'd roll 1 die. That means Kim and Desmond, however many people you got in your group, can use it. If you guys start a long-term project to gain a physiker, they'd be a cohort, I believe, and you would have them permanently. Whenever you upgrade your crew, you can also do the same thing. I believe.
How long does a long-term project take?
Depends on the project. I would have to look it up. But usually 8 ticks, and then depending on how well you roll, so you would roll an action, and then you would fill the project clock defined by me. And then you can link projects together to get other things, but it's not really too big of a deal. It might be 6, might be 8, not 100% sure.
Okay, and then how do we upgrade?
How do you upgrade what? Your group?
Yeah.
You just keep doing what we're doing. So if you click on the crew, it tells you right there, whenever you get experience for doing these things here that are in like size 5 font.
So we upgrade when that hits max?
When this is max. And then you guys can get various abilities and cohorts and items and side stuff. Technically, like I said, there's a lot of side content in this game. There's a lot of side stuff in the game. It's absolutely insane. You guys can start like long-term projects with other things. You guys can do a quick heist to start a long-term project, so it's free. Realistically, we can do almost anything. And now that we've started, and you guys have kind of like decided where we are and whatnot, y'all get to basically pick what will happen, who will go where. We'll look at the factions, and we'll have like various faction ratings go up and down. I put the crows up +1, which you guys can see. Blue coats are 0 because we haven't touched them. If you guys choose to go to the red section and say, hey, we got your sword back, go ask the crows, that was us, I'll say they get +1. If for any reason we run into the Lampblacks again, they know it was you, so they run into you specifically, Kim. Basically, if you guys choose to put your base here, put it probably near the red sashes or really, really far away from the Lampblacks. If they happen to see you, I would probably make it go down by 1 more, not per time, but just when they do see you, because they did very much see you, Kim. I'd say that would go down by another 1. Or if you guys just piss off and go somewhere else, then they might not see you again, and then don't need to worry about that. Technically, something else we do is something called the entanglement roll, which is 1 die per wanted level, and I don't believe you guys have a wanted level, so you're fine. Nope, you guys' wanted level is 0. You're good.
We keep leaving our calling cards around.
Well, the thing is, you want to make a little bit of noise. So this game wants you to be crazy. This game wants you to do crazy shit. The fact that you took some stress and damage, don't worry about that. That's literally just part of the game. Another part of this game's tone is actually how often we take damage. So occasionally I'm going to cheat and it will say 3 damage. I might just say 2. And yeah, I'm going easy on you guys, but guess what? This game's hard. This game's really hard. You can literally die in like one sitting. If you get super unlucky and you roll to resist stress and take 5 stress 2 times, that's an instant trauma on like 2 rolls. That's insane. This game can be ridiculous in terms of burning through characters. I want you guys to actually like have fun with the character for a little while until they just go nuts. Someone keeps breaking, leaving chicken bones behind. Honestly, as a calling card, I freaking love that. That is hilarious. Make sure they're extra wet because you give them a nice little kiss.
I mean, they are freshly eaten, so yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Drop off some freshly eaten chicken bone. I'm cool with that.
I did say he pulled out a chicken wing out of his pocket and started eating it, so
Yeah, definitely.
it's that fresh.
That's a little weird.
No, it's Desmond.
Which is a little weird. In
it's
general, if there's anything specific you guys want, pause the spooky music. If there's anything specific you guys want, so you say, no, we want to hire a physiker, or we want to hire a cohort, let me know, and I will look up in the rulebook basically how to get a physiker easily, so that we're not like trying to waste a roll every time or using our hard-earned gold.
I mean, if anything, I guess it would make more sense to like be in contact with a physiker.
Yeah.
That we can use, but
Yeah, so
We
basically,
probably want one as a cohort. 'Cause
that's
that's
the
perm.
a cohort is that. So a cohort is a physical you have
Okay.
access to, basically.
Okay,
One that
yeah.
won't
In
charge
that
you.
case.
Yeah, is basically what that is. So if you guys want that, just throw it in Discord, because like I said, I have way too many PDFs open right now. Do that, and I will research it.
We can also work towards getting an infirmary. We need it.
So yeah, you guys can do quite a bit. On the crew sheet here, the infirmary I think is kind of far away. Yeah, it's a little far away, but you guys can cheat.
Did we actually need to get like turf as a start, or do you only get the lair?
You only get the lair.
So do we have the lair already?
Technically you don't, but yes you do. So once you guys decide where you want to go, something happens. So technically the way this game is supposed to work is you pick a location, you go there, and then you have to pay coin instantly. If you pay 0 coin, you piss off everybody. If you pay 1 coin, I think they let you chill. I forgot exactly how it works.
You mean to the landlords?
You have to pay. So basically, if you guys decide to drop here, the Red Sashes will say, "Hey, pay up, buddy." And if you don't, you lose 2 rep with them instantly, or something like that. If you pay them, I think if you pay 2, you actually gain a rep, because they're like, "Oh, these guys are cool." If you pay 1 rep, you're just neutral, but you're allowed to chill here. So that's supposed to be one of the first things you're supposed to go. So if you guys want to chill on the docks, we can do that. Like I said, I will leave this map open. You guys have access to, like, you guys can go to the dock. Where's the docks? The docks under the. You guys can go to the docks. You guys can see what it looks like. You guys can see where you want to land. I will add a pip that says this is your crew, and whenever you click it, the crew will pop up. This shows you everything, like who you're going to deal with. If you go to the book will show you the clans that are.
Town, that's my kind of place.
Yeah, the people that are normally here.
Slaughter Row, Whiskey Street,
I know.
Bloody
Yeah.
Lane.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's great. I'll add, so under the doc summary, we have all the information here. So fortunately, they're right down the middle. So security, safety, everything is 2 all the way down. I'll add an extra thing here that says, rather than notable crews that are also here. So I'll go ahead and I'll dig through my book and I'll add. So if you guys like this place, we can definitely start here. I just need to figure out which clans are here, and I think it's far away enough that y'all don't need to worry too much. Let me go back to Duskull. I think this is far away enough from Crowsfoot. No, it's right next door. That's fine. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So realistically,
we can
Why?
pay-
I thought we were friends with the Crow's Foot.
You're friends with the Crows. You're not friends with Latwax. You just blew your shit up. So
I mean, we can pay extra and get like good rep here so that they protect us.
yeah. So honestly, the more I read about this game, I know that first heist was a little tense there, Kim. But the more I read about this game, the more I get like kid excited, like child levels of excitement, because I'm like, holy shit, this tries to like actually simulate like gang warfare and shit. And it's so
You're so cute, husband.
It's so cool. Like I've never seen a game this right. I freaking love it. Like the setting is great. The lore is really really rich and deep. If you actually want to get into it, it's like a freaking book. And looking at this from like a video game perspective, you could literally spend like so many campaigns of just the docs, and then you're like pissing people off and making people happy, and the more you do things, you can end up going to jail, and like, you know, you can get places in jail that you own. You can like pay off certain cops, so when you run into them again, like, you know, gravy, and then you guys can eventually work your way up and try killing the God Emperor if that's what you care about, or just say screw it and just like take over a certain area and say no, this is ours. There's so much you can do with Inside. I freaking love it. It's just really 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 cool. Anyway, I'll leave this open for you guys to like read through bits that you want to read through.
I mean, would we actually be able to get far away from the Crow's Foot, considering that the docks and the Char Hollow are both next to it, and those are the starting areas, right?
Realistically, you can start anywhere that's not rich. So I would say you cannot start in Charter Hall because that's literally just Bougeville. You cannot go to that would make no sense.
Sure.
Yeah, but like the thing is, you can go to Coleridge, you can go to the Night Market, you can go to like Dunslow and Barrowclef and Silkshore. You can go to all these places if you want.
Do we have that map? Can we see that map?
This?
We do.
Yeah.
It's this Duskull,
Duskull, yeah, the main one, Duskull.
the one in the middle of the things.
Oh.
I'm on it right now.
Yeah, there you go. Click on your pips so you can see them. There you go. Yeah, I did all this work for you guys so you can see all the lore and shit. It's really dope.
How do we know if they're bougie?
Double click. I also made.
I mean, in that case, I don't mind going to the night market instead.
And then look.
Oh, wealth 4-4.
Yeah. So if wealth and security and safety are 4-4, don't go there because it means there's lots of blue coats and there's lots of the night market is kind of bougie, but at the same time not. It's weird. So as long as the place isn't too nice, I'll say you guys can start there. But we'll figure it out as long as you want that to be like your starting area. That basically defines the tone of the game. So if you guys like, from what I'm gathering, you guys aren't straight rats. Like the docks is definitely a really cool place to start because you guys have access to all these boats and whatnot. This is a really cool place to start, actually.
Yeah, I'm thinking I like the docks.
Yeah, like that and that one place you're in. with the
So,
dagger something.
2 votes for docks.
Sure. Like I said, if you guys want anything in particular, jot it down in the Discord. My bladder's going to explode, so I'm going to pop out and pause the stream. Thanks everyone for coming. Super fun. We'll do this again next Saturday with like an official session 1, so we'll try to get all the rules hammered out, so I don't need to pause so much in between, and I'll double check how Downtime works, because I swear I missed something. You guys might get experience for completing that mission. I swear you do not only get experience from from rolling desperate positions. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm very
In
certain.
this case, we're gonna level very slow.
You're never gonna level then, yeah, holy shit. There's no way that's only you get experience.
I only got
refuse
one, I
to
think,
believe
right?
it. Yeah. I think you guys...
What exactly
only-
does it do, even?
You basically only get experience. No, experience is good. So when you max out your experience on your class, you get an extra ability, and the abilities are amazing. If you max it out on a skill, you get another pip. Meaning, theoretically, you can max everything out, but holy shit, if your character survives that long, you deserve to max everything out because you're a god.
I mean, if it's only really desperate situations, then honestly, that would basically mean that I would have to get my stress, or at least get 2 trauma, to even get those abilities.
And the thing
A single
is,
ability.
you guys can tell me, wouldn't this be a desperate situation? And I would go, sure. So you guys are more than welcome to put yourself in a kind of shitty position to get more experience. I'm totally cool with that. You can recommend me things and say, wouldn't this be a this? Wouldn't this be a that? If I say no, then just kind of go with it. But if you guys can put yourselves in more perilous positions to get experience, this game wants you to take risks. This is the drive your character like a stolen car 101. That is this game. They want you to go nuts. So definitely do that. Try doing weird things. If you're confused on how a mechanic works or why certain things don't stack, just ask. It's very specific in the book what doesn't stack. I actually love how particular they are with mechanics, because it doesn't leave anything open to interpretation that is mechanically focused, but it leaves other things open to interpretation. So the important shit, like how does assisting someone work, they tell you exactly how it works and why it works that way, which is fantastic. And the more fun things they will open to players. Anyway, bladder exploding. I'm gonna hop out. It was super fun. I'll get you guys tomorrow for D&D and the next Saturday for more of this. Yay!
I can't wait to die.
I know, right?
In D&D, guys.
Roy.
Alright, and everyone joined the stream. Thank you. It was super fun. I'm gonna go explode somewhere else. Peace.